All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and not good night. Good afternoon from Tokyo, Japan. It is 3:40 in the afternoon over here. What time you got over there, DCC?
It is 10:40 at night right now.
Okay,
So
not too late over there yet.
not too late, but for the East Coasters out there, they're definitely not sleeping right now. It's like 1 in the morning over there.
wake up, fellas. Time to buy. Yeah, no, we got a good group of people jumping in the chat here. Yeah, it looks like we have what 131 people strong on both of our streams. We decided to do a dual stream here. I think this is the first time we've done a dual stream on my channel and your channel, right?
Yeah, this is the first time ever, actually. Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, it'll be just good here to have a little weekend chat. We won't, we'll stick on for a bit, basically help out the people, who might be wondering what's going on in the markets right now. And on the back end here, me and DCC also do have some of our exchanges open, looking to grab some cheap coins. So don't mind us if from time to time we mute ourselves and maybe stop the cameras as well to go get in some nifty buys on coins.
Definitely, man. If you're buying, you ain't selling. That's the important thing, man.
Yeah. Well, and here's a couple. There'll be a few tenets or a few things that we've mentioned in the crypto mindset course that we'll just kind of reiterate today, just to let you guys know, how to navigate these types of times. Because, I mean, this is, has the sense and a little bit of the airs of the March 2020 crash, not in terms of severity. I think it's actually, at least up to this point, a lot less severe. But in terms of just how it's looking, I would say it might have a recovery that could be similar. So we'll take a look at that today. But I'm very glad to see like most of the people, right, who are in the chat, also who are in the Q4 Telegram chat for the course. I would say 80 to 90% of the people are like, hey, man, things are looking good in terms of, looking to buy some stuff up, right? And also not panicking on their bags. Because, I mean, we've talked about this before. I don't know if we've mentioned this on Moon Gang recently or not, but we said if 69,000 was the top of the bull market, that'd be like the lamest bull market in Bitcoin's history. So the bull market ain't over, in my opinion. But, there's going to be a lot of FUD out there in the coming week from this.
No, definitely. I mean, like you're going to hear all kinds of different stories and stuff. Some people saying this might be like I was even reading on Twitter earlier that this is about like this was Plan B's dip right here because.
Anyways,
oh. Oh my god. Anyway, but no, definitely, man. But it was I was having people freaking out on me, right? I had some people. It was kind of interesting. Some people didn't realize the rest of the market was going down because they were texting me about like, hey, Eluvium's going down or something like that. And then I told them like, hey, check the rest of the market. Oh, because they were just getting alerts on their phone for the coins that they had basically, so they hadn't seen the whole overall market and stuff, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think we'll take a look at the charts here real quick because I think we could put some lines in the sand and be like, okay, this is on places to different places to pay attention to, and when you're using your dry powder or finding ways to grab some dry powder here, you got to be careful with where you get in, how much you get in, stuff like this. So we'll talk about that as well. Awesome. Oh, maybe I'll pull up the Twitters because I don't think you saw this earlier today.
No, wait, you don't take my $10,000 bet.
Oh, John's just trolling. I love it.
Oh.
Let me pull it up because I saw this earlier. I was gonna like it and make a comment on it, but I was like, I'll let DCC be. But let me see. Is there what was the name of the account that's not MLD? I forgot. Like it's like Rolo Tomasi's biggest fan or something. There we go.
Oh, you're doxing now?
No, everybody fucking knows. I mean, come on.
Oh, congrats on the Rolex thing. Well, I guess not congrats, but at least hey, that's Japan for you. At least you get your money back,
Yeah, exactly. So here's where his 10,000 bet comes into play. It's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, dude, I did not catch. I saw Brian right there. I pooped myself when I saw Phantom at 90 cents on KuCoin. I did not catch that at 90 cents, but I did catch it at like $1.30, which is pretty cool.
All right, we're into infinity beyond. So Plan C said, what price will Bitcoin be at the end of the year? Right, there's a bunch of different potential possibilities. 2 days left on this one. You said 100K, and then Rollo Tomasi, best fan not on LD, says, I'll bet you $10,000 you're wrong.
Well, okay, bro, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So
that's fucking crazy, dude. Because literally, when I did that tweet, I went into a store and then like I come out and fucking the whole fucking world's on fire.
So should we place the bets at the current prices, or?
Well, I don't know what's the price of that right now.
$47,834 for Bitcoin.
Let me think about it.
Here's the thing: is on my channel, right? I've never. I basically I was saying, we'll go towards $100,000 going into January, right? Based on the 60-day cycle and where we were at up in as long as $49 to $50,000 held. Clearly that didn't hold. And so that changes the whole aspect going into New Year's. Right. But we got Jerry with the $10 super chat says, great calling Phantom at $1.50. Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down there just because of the market. And then we got Mr. Angry Twinkie with the $20 super chat. He's extra angry today. He says, I have a buying something at buy the effing dip, baby. So yeah, it's looking good.
Definitely. Yeah, the Gwei's insane right now. That's for sure for the swaps.
Oh yeah, I was looking at that. Isn't it like at 600 something?
Yeah, it was like I saw earlier. It was like $1,900 to do a swap.
Damn.
Yeah, so you definitely this is why it's good sometimes to have some some stables here and there, and be able to put, because I actually when I bought the Phantom, I was able to buy it on KuCoin, so KuCoin's working fine and dandy and stuff. But I did find some huge make sure to check the different exchanges, centralized exchanges, because I found wildly different prices on the coins on different exchanges and stuff, from like Coinbase to even Gemini. I saw way different prices. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think some of the decentralized exchanges, right, because they're based on ETH, have had basically a lot of issues. Like Uniswap, you're mentioning, was basically having a lot of trouble. Looks like KuCoin's holding up pretty good, actually. And so there's a few, this is where you start understanding, why we tell you guys when we jump at the course, like have to have a few different exchanges in mind, so that in that basically you're flexible, right? So.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, you have to be flexible, and then too, Artman.
There we go.
Damn, brother. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I was coming out the store and stuff when the prices were crashing. I was just getting as soon as I stepped out the store, the connection hit my phone, and I was like, Jesus! I just ran.
Yeah, I mean, we were already talking, planning to virtually meet up today on Zoom and everything, and then this happened. We're like, oh. Time to discuss this with the crew, because I mean, I think a lot of people might be asleep right now on the East Coast, but I do think it is important to just kind of come on here, show people where the market's at, and be like, all right, don't panic, chill.
No, definitely. Hello, darkness, my dear friend.
So let's take a look at the chart then.
Let's take a look at what happened basically,
and see where everything is. The chat's lit. A lot of people jumping in there with different things. I wonder if I can go back to Gareth, one of Gareth's initial comments, because that was pretty good at the beginning of the stream before we jumped on. Let's see here. Wonder if I can pull up to that. Yeah, Eric Chavez, I think, was definitely. Oh, he's #1 Moonganger on the emergency stream. He's got that click button ready. This was a good comment. Gareth said, man, it never ceases to shock me to watch Bitcoin plummet by over $1,000 in 5 seconds. Hell of a rush, better than a roller coaster. Yes, sir. And Angela there at the beginning as well, just jumping on. He knows what to do. He knows what to do. And here's the thing, right? basically, what do you call it? In terms of where the prices are right now, we'll take a look at some on-chain data. We'll take a look at the charts as well. But in terms of where the market is, where it was before this dip, right, was kind of at fair value, essentially, where we've been talking about this through the Moon Gang streams the last couple of weeks, showing some of these charts that, Plan C's got going. And on those charts, right, basically Bitcoin was at its fair value. So any dump like this, as long as we hold certain levels, essentially all we're doing is getting massive discounts, and then we have to wait more time to be more patient. So, people need to look at this as an opportunity, in my opinion. Jeremy Levine with the $5 super chat says, best place to buy crypto on a credit card. I don't have any cash. I get paid this month, so I can pay off whatever I spend right away. Yeah, you're going to want to pay off that card right away. You don't want to go into debt during this time, right? So I would highly not recommend to pay with a credit card. But wouldn't that be like crypto.com probably?
Yeah, I think Crypto.com's the only one. I think all the major exchanges in the United States don't accept credit card unless it's all it's all debit card or ACH or whatever, or bank wire basically.
Yeah, I've never used Crypto.com, but from the sounds of it, people were able to use some of their cards. Yeah. So, but be very careful with that. I would say you got to pay that thing off ASAP within the month, right? Don't go into debt to grab more crypto, even if it is cheap.
Yeah, no, definitely. And shout out to all my hexagons not even sweating right now.
Yeah, Hex is doing pretty well, right? We'll pull up all the charts on all the different coins, and we'll have a good one here. We'll just pull up the chart on Bitcoin. We'll look at macros. We'll take a look at some on-chain data, and then we'll go into the market cap sites and start going into some of these altcoins and see, kind of where they're at compared to their historical average, right?
Right. I am excited.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on a second. Yeah, anybody who is basically, got cash on the side and not yet in the market, what I would tell most people to do is basically, because I was getting a few texts about this, I would just say, put your, get your stuff into stable coins, right? Because you're not going to want to ape in all at once if you got cash on the side. You want to basically let the dust settle. Maybe take like 20% of what you got, throw it in, see what happens. And then, let the dust settle. And if we get lower prices, you can buy lower, right? So you don't ever want to just like go all in and on a falling knife, essentially, because, things can go lower for sure. So let's take a look at the chart real quick. Let me pull it up here. Make sure I have it clean. It is clean.
Yes, sir. We is lit for this stream, man. I've been day drinking. Not JK.
What do you got going on?
Just having a little drink. Just having a little drink right now.
Oh yeah. It's Friday night for you. It's just my Saturday afternoon, so I just got kinoko soup from the conveni. Mushroom soup, baby. It tastes good.
Crypto don't sleep, man. It's crazy. It's always something. Yeah. But I'm pretty proud. I'm really proud of a lot of the guys in the chat, man. They kind of handle themselves pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. So here's what we got going. There's a couple of things which you can look at on the chart here that are positive and some which are negative. One of the things that we got going here is our trusty old 200-day moving average, right? During the last crash that we had, basically that area got sniped right through, right? Got closed through, and then we went sideways there for a bit after that. So that area is holding right now, at least for the current moment of time. But here's the thing. More importantly, you want to, what do we say? Always, when in doubt, zoom out, right? So if we pull out here to the weekly chart, we take a look. So if you want to look at the two angles of half glass full, half glass half full, glass half empty, is on the negative side, right? What is happening here on the weekly chart? Well, on the negative side, we have this 12 EMA, right? Which we obviously are going to close this week below, which the 12 EMA is currently at 55,090. So yeah, we're obviously closing below that. And then the other thing on the negative is we did have, this nice uptrend trend line, right? And looks like we'll close the week below there. So that's negative. If we turn on our Bollinger Bands on the weekly chart, we have the 20-week moving average currently at $51,586. So we'd actually want to close the week above $52,000. So we have a day and a half or a day and 18 hours for Bitcoin to suck back up above that basically $52,000 mark. If that happens, actually, this could be a very short-lived flash crash. We get some sideways action over the next week, and then we go up from there. If we do close below that 20-week moving average, that is where a lot of the altcoins, start to give back their positions to the market. And if we did get a close below the 200-day moving average, then altcoins would start to puke and go down faster than Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, what can you do about it for the positions that you currently have? Pretty much nothing. It's not advisable to sell on a flash crash, right? So you basically just go into your dry powder reserves, right? And you grab up some of the dip. If you don't have any dry powder reserves, this is, a good just way to look at the market to understand, to have some reserves. But here's the positive, right? So that's a glass half empty. Here's the positive, right? You get cheaper coins. You just have to wait longer for this market to play out. Like we said, we do not believe the bull market is over by any means or any stretch of the imagination. We have this line here, right, which is the 50-week moving average, which is currently just $100 under 47,000, so $46,914. And so we can see Bitcoin has wicked below there, and basically the buying pressure that got bought back up there is right above that line. So that's the line in the sand that I am paying attention to right now on the weekly chart. Because if we get a close below there, then I would say the next area that it's going to come down to is the Bollinger Bands down here at 35,000, which would bring us back to that range where we had that bottoming here. Now, I would say based on just where we currently are and where this dip has gone right now, I would say that's less likely, but within the next day and a half. But if the weekly candle did close below there, then that would be more likely, let's say, in the next 1 week. And so that's, some of the ways to look at it. If we want to take a look here, let's say at the last 60-day cycle, this is where I would say the 60-day cycles come in handy as well, because we currently have the previous cycle low from the last 60-day cycle. Technically, the actual low here was, let's see here, 39,573, right? That's where we were at the end of September. And so that's the true area that we want to keep above, right, for Bitcoin. If we were to get, a few daily closes or a weekly close below that number, I would say that's the time to be like, okay, sit back, wait for the market to shake out, and don't really do much of anything, right? So that's why I say, like, if you got dry powder, yeah, you could take a stab at it right now, but like 20% of what your dry powder is max, maybe 30% max. And then if it did drop below that line, then you have 70% left to average down after we get some dust settling. But yeah, if we basically do close above this weekly moving average, we start seeing some positive action going into the middle of next week. We reclaim that 20-week moving average at 52,000, then prices will basically come back to where they were. But with the altcoins, what tends to happen in these types of situations is, right, when Bitcoin has this type of negativity, and then even if it were to come back up to 52,000, my guess would be that most altcoins probably will take longer to recover if we have a longer period of time within this high $40,000 range. Even if Bitcoin did recover to low 50,000s, there will be some altcoins which will be kind of shell shocked and they won't recover right away. So that's just the kind of the different things to expect here. And then the ultimate, obviously, line in the sand, which would be like, okay, we'll be going into probably a very extended bear market, meaning probably longer than the last downtrend. What would be if we were to break below that last area of somewhere between the absolute low so far this year was, or in the summer was 28,600. We break below that, and yeah, we start falling, and that's where we're like, okay, we might have to hodl for a while, right? And only in the assets that you're confident in, right? For the longer term. So that's the situation. Now, the other time that we had something similar, right, was, oh, look at that. Can you see the similarities here? We have, it's a little bit zoomed out. Maybe I'll go to a cleaner Bitcoin chart so that we can let's do this one here. I'll delete some of this stuff.
Sorry, Charlie was buying something.
Good. No, it's perfect. So if you take a look here, right, first, well, actually, let's keep that Elliott wave on there. If you did take a look at this crash here, right, we had 3 weeks and the third to the downside, and the third week was that massive red candle. And then we got sucked back up, and then it took, several weeks to recover. But once we did, right, we had a good base level, and then Bitcoin started taking off into that wave 3, right? And so, yeah, I would say this is basically a miniature version of that. So far, I mean, obviously we want to see where the dust settles, but so far we have, from the high to low of this pullback, we have a 40% drop, which is not actually ridiculous yet, right? It's pretty normal of a pullback, basically. And so on this pullback, I would say, as long as we're staying under the 45% mark, right, going into a cycle low, that's relatively normal. Obviously, these pullbacks on the Corona crash, right, were much more severe. We had this one here pulling back about 64%, and then, but with a V-shaped recovery, essentially. And then we had this pullback here of 55%. So you can see that this is, relatively speaking, as long as we hold that 50-week moving average, relatively tame, and give you guys a good reminder of what to do and what not to do in this market, so that you are careful going forward. But if we look at the Elliott wave pattern, and assuming the Elliott wave pattern holds, right, worst case scenario for Elliott wave pattern, absolute worst case scenario, we get a double top truncated fifth, most lame bull market we've ever gone in Bitcoin, and we go down from here to like 20,000, right? that would be the worst case scenario. I really don't think that is likely. Now, if we were to look at where we are in this Elliott wave pattern so far, right, we're basically, of this wave 5, we have a wave 1 here. We're in that wave 2, right? And then we go into the impulsive wave 3 of wave 5, right? And then we continue through this bull market. So I would say, leaning definitely towards the more bullish scenarios, and leaning towards this being a temporary pullback. But basically, it's going to take us probably about 7 to 10 days to really watch this play out properly. It's not something that you're going to be able to just say, this is definitely going to happen, or this is definitely going to happen, or, whatever scenario. So the best thing to look at is, again, to zoom in, look at that previous cycle low. Want to see Bitcoin hold that area. Want to see Bitcoin hold this 50-week moving average. And next week, we want to see a nice, recovery, at least towards the low 50Ks, back above the previous cycle high. And then we're back, boom, into that longer term bull trend scenario still, like we said. So yeah, that's pretty much it on Bitcoin. If we go back to that 60-day cycle and we say, okay, go over here, we go back into that daily chart. Well, where could we be in the 60-day cycle, assuming that this is not, going to close as well below the 200-day moving average? Well, essentially, where we are is, we had the previous low here on September 21st, the high here, right on day 50 of the cycle. And so this would bring us to an extended cycle low of about 74 days, right? Looking at it from the current perspective. So
Right.
That's assuming these areas hold. Otherwise, we might have to look at this in a slightly different way. But for right now, it seems like we just have like an extended cycle. And what's the reason for a crash like this? Essentially, everybody was, in terms of whoever's doing leverage in this market, right? They basically started taking leverage before this downtrend was confirmed to be over, right? So anybody who is basically doing that, I would say, was not paying attention to the 60-day cycle or this 12-day moving average, because the 12 EMA, right? We're basically struggling to break above, and so I would tell people, watch that area. Once we can reclaim that, then things are better. But when you get extra leverage in the system, I think I showed this on the channel 2 days ago on Thursday, which was got to look up which chart it is. I got to look it back up again. But basically, it was a chart showing how much leverage was in the system, and it was still a very high amount, right? And so whenever you get these flash crashes, essentially what it's doing is just cleansing the market of being over leveraged. And so a lot of people probably had stop losses. But if you're using leverage and you don't have a stop loss, like, you don't know what you're doing, essentially. So yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on there. I think only last thing I want to say is, if we take a look at two things here, we can take a look at the last cycle low to the last cycle high. And again, that 0.786 lines up very well with that 200-day moving average. So we want to hold above that area, because if we did have some daily closes well below there, then again, that's a break of this short-term uptrend into an official downtrend. And then if we were to zoom out even further and we were to look at the previous, like the beginning of that area, right, it's also come down right into that 0.618 area. So if you had some Hail Mary buy orders around those two fib levels, which do line up really well with that 200-day moving average, you got hit, and that's good, actually. So that's generally what we're seeing there. Did you have any kind of like things that you were thinking as we're looking at that?
I mean, honestly, I wasn't so spooked in terms of BTC really crashing down.
I mean,
I was more.
it's not like we haven't experienced this before.
Right. You start like, the longer you're in the market, the more you're kind of numb to dips and you're still like happy when there's like pumps, basically. But I was surprised on a couple of coins going down as much as they did. I was looking up on some of my other coins. Actually, Tomb and some of that stuff held its peg really well. So I was like, oh, look at that. Holy crap. That's crazy. So just little things like that. But it was mostly some of the altcoins that got kind of beat up and stuff. DOT went down. I think I saw it like at $21 or $27 around that range on DOT for a little bit, I think. So, but yeah, I mean, it's the dip.
BTFP, baby. Yep.
I mean, but no, definitely. I was surprised, but I was surprised it did go to a 74-day. I was like, wow, So yeah, because usually, at least what I've seen when you show me the charts and stuff, usually, you get. I've seen 65s and stuff, maybe a 70 and stuff, but I was like, wow, 74, that's a little. But what's the longest in terms of a 60-day cycle extension? Have you seen 84?
Somewhere around the 80-day mark. I think maybe 80, 84 days, somewhere around there. And that was maybe, I don't even remember. I'd have to go back and look on the other chart that I have. And it's been a while. It's been a while. So, it's interesting because as we get the lengthening cycles, I think this is just kind of, there's some people are like asking, right? Like, what's the, where was that? Like, what caused this, right? What actually caused this? I would say, here we go, right? What caused the crash? I would say essentially a bunch of people, putting in extra leverage into the system, some stop losses getting hit around that area. I think a lot of people were knowing that if we broke below 49,000, that we're going to have some time at cheaper prices. And so then you start getting exchanges to sell. But here's the interesting thing, right? Is any of the institutions that are on places like Wall Street, they're closed over the weekends, right? So who do we have that has a chance to push down the market a little bit? If it's going to be done by certain players, it's going to be the larger crypto exchanges such as Binance, FTX, and others potentially. Not saying that that's what they did, but you could go and look at some orders and see if there's anybody who is looking to get, shake some people out on the end of the 4-year cycle and then go into an extended cycle on the upside into 2022. I could see that narrative being played out in the back end on some of these larger whales that are have different buttons they can press in this market that cause people to panic.
Let me assure you, there's some big whales who are buying up that BTC. It was that low. I promise you that. I mean, everyone who knows that this market's going to continue on has been buying the coin that they're most interested in on this whole dip. Couldn't buy Hex on the dip, but well,
Hex was already dipping about 80%, 70%, so it didn't have much further to fall. No, I'm joking.
Well, I mean, I packed up my bags. I mean, I did a really big buy of Hex at 18 cents. So I mean, we're at 17 right now. So it's like, oh, the dip. Like, you know what I mean? But there were some other opportunities in the market and stuff. Like, man, dude, I'm jealous, man. Somebody actually caught like 94-cent Phantom. Man, what a G.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up the leverage chart that I had up earlier this week. So I'm just listening as you're going through that.
No, definitely not. I've got a feeling it was a CZ FTX little coordination.
Well, what's really funny? I think there was, I forgot the name of the guy from Alameda Capital, but there was one guy who was tweeting a little bit not overly bullish things, but it's just he never writes like threads, and he wrote a thread earlier in the week, and I was just kind of like, is he trying to like basically get the market to do the opposite of what he's planning to do here? There's no like guarantee on any of these things about who's behind these things, but you can kind of get some suspicions,
Right.
But this is the chart that I was looking for. So we got the futures open interest, and so I think it was on Thursday I was saying we had the levels closer up to this area up here, and the last time we had open interest this high among all of the different exchanges that do allow you to do leverage, these areas were as hot in terms of this, right? Were as high as what we had here back in the spring of this year, right? When the prices were at all-time highs. And so you can see here, like if I zoom in, right, just how much you can tell that this is, the open interest is starting to go down. And basically after you get mass liquidations, this starts to get to a healthier level. And obviously we saw that area here during the previous crash as well. So just interesting to kind of be like, okay, the leverage is pretty high in the system. So they're just flushing that out, and the exchanges are taking profits on those people basically.
Yeah.
But there's other stuff I want to look at the charts too, but we'll kind of sprinkle in the charts every once in a while. I want to take a look at what's happening in the chat as well. I think I missed a super chat, didn't I?
Yeah, somebody said that they hadn't missed their super chat, but I didn't see what super chat it was actually as well.
I could scroll up. Oh, Jack. This guy has been I love this guy. He actually said he was watching your stream live yesterday, the one that you were doing, and then my live stream yesterday. He's in the hospital right now, apparently.
Oh, wow.
So hopefully he's getting well. And he said, watching the streams was helping him, focus his attention on something else. So I'm glad to hear that. And hopefully you get better soon, man. But he has the $5 Canadian super chat. Says, in the course webinar with Greg B, I thought it said sometimes it was worth to buy crypto in a bull market instead of paying off some debt. Yeah, it depends on what your situation is. Very much so. It depends on what your situation is. But I would say in a bull market, yeah, you're going to, you can put off things if you don't need to pay off all of your stuff, basically. Right. So he did mention that was one of the things that he was doing. But of course, if you have, to get yourself out of a debt hole, it's better to pay off. Was there another one that I missed? There might have been one more.
No, get better, dude. I didn't know he was in the hospital. Oh man, dude.
Yeah, you just mentioned that on the live stream yesterday. I didn't know that either. But
definitely.
No, I don't think. Maybe that was the only one that we missed. I'll keep scrolling up in case I see it, but I think for the most part that might be it. Oh, no, yeah, that was the only one. All right, cool. We're good. Somebody's gonna bring this up.
How sell looking? Let me see. Actually, let me look. Probably holding up more than likely. Let's
yeah,
see.
it's probably actually still at $4.
No, I think it was earlier it was at 3 something. So right now it's just kind of at the same place it was at, just middle of threes, 350. Not down. I think it says, I think it dipped at like 327 or something. So yeah, it's holding up. It's holding up, I guess.
Well, I wouldn't call that holding up. I
Well,
wouldn't call that holding up at all, because it was like $4 earlier in the week, and it's down to 325. I would say it's still gone down with the rest of the market. Oh, I love it. This is why we got to be dead inside sometimes, right? Just gotta, be ready to roll with the punches here with the crypto. That's funny. Crest marketing. Why market wrecked? You also got it. This is why we do the memes every single day as well. You guys got to have a sense of humor about this stuff, and because again, we're putting in money that we're willing to lose, and also that we're willing to hold on to for long term, right?
Yeah.
Jerry says, "Can we play Pump It Up on the outro?" Yeah, we can do a little copyright infringement, I guess, just for you guys special here today, but we'll have to cut that out of the replay. But I'm always willing to do that for you guys, if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Jerry's been through this before. He's experienced that Q2 pullback. Says for the new moon gangers, it's gonna be okay. Good stuff.
Crypto emergency, yeah. It's always that ambulance. I swear to God, bro.
Hey man, it works in every situation. It's just King of Jacks. I feel my soul leaving my body as we speak. Here's the interesting thing, Spark55. Actually, here's the interesting thing. He says, aren't institutions desperate for accumulation? They are. But here's the other thing, right? And one thing to kind of keep in mind is the institutions are not going to do anything in December, right? They're going to be standing pat. If they see a good opportunity, right, they'll probably come in and scoop some of the dip up. But the institutions, what do they want to do at the end of the year? They want to make sure their books are, basically kept so that they have the gain. They've locked in the gains that they made for this year, right? And they don't want to take too much extra risk until January, because then it's the start of the new calendar year, start of the new quarter as well. And then they can basically start throwing money at the markets again, no problem, right? So I would say don't rely on institutions to buy up or hold up the prices in December, simply for that reason, because they want to make sure they've already made significant gains this year, and they want to keep it that way. So they're not going to be taking heavy risk at this point.
Right.
But if they do see a very good opportunity, right? If they have certain bags that they're willing to play with going, straddling the new year, then they're going to go and buy up some of the dip with that money. So it just depends on which type of institutions you're talking about. Gabodi. Might have to throw my whole savings in this dip. Not all of it. Like I said, listen to what I said earlier, right? Some of you guys coming in here.
So everything
to the stream. God damn it. Sometimes people only hear what they want to hear, right? But no, Gabodi, I like the stuff there. Brisology.
Put some McDonald's hat on.
Let's do it, baby. So yeah, what I would say is like put in like 20-30% of what you are looking to maybe risk here, but don't put it all in. Wait for the dust to settle for sure.
So what are you buying right now, Charlie?
So I think I haven't bought yet. So what I'm thinking to do here is I'll probably just go across the portfolio and just buy a little bit of everything at the current prices. There we go. It's the emergency time to be doing it, baby.
Charlie's buying.
God telling me. God telling me it's time, baby. It's time.
Bottoms in, you guys.
Here's the key thing, right? It really will depend on how we start the next week, right? How we finish this week, how we start the next week. So if you didn't catch me looking at the chart earlier in detail, go back and look at that portion. Yeah, for my trading group in the Algo service, we're actually going to be having a webinar on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll also have another time to chat in there once we get into the early part of the week. But that'll be after my Tuesday show, so I'll be talking about that there. But yeah, I'll just go across the whole portfolio, grab some Phantom, grab some DOT, grab some Kusama, probably grab a good chunk of ETH. Actually, that's probably the thing that I'll want to buy a little bit more heavily here, and then I'll cool off on some of the absolute shit coins a little bit. You know, I'm not going to go into over speculative coins right now, but there's a couple on my radar that, you know, we can yield on that me and you have been talking about. We won't talk about them all here, but you know, there's a few that can be scooped up on different ecosystems here that are a little less known, but you know, that's higher risk, and so we don't recommend that to people necessarily.
Yesterday in my live stream, I had some guy said that he still had a Bcash and BSV in his portfolio, and I hope to God he sold it yesterday for Hex, because I told him, I was like, hey dude,
oh really?
I was like, yeah, dump those coins for Hex, bro. Yesterday, I pray he fucking sold them.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, like, didn't you say Bitcoin Cash Cash ABC was the only thing holding up
ABC, right, but I think he had the OG ones. He had like BSV.
Oh,
and
who the hell is holding BSV these days? Like, good God.
Some people, I guess some
people going to pump on the Craig Wright verdict.
Well, I think didn't it get airdropped to people holding Bitcoin Cash or something when they?
It got airdropped to. I can't remember if it was airdropped to Bitcoin. I think it must have been Bitcoin holders, because it's a fork of Bitcoin. So
right.
But yeah, I mean, just every time you who wants to touch BSV, man? Jesus Christ.
Where do you sell that? I don't even, like, if you had asked me, like, where do I sell my BSV? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. But hey, man, I mean, it just is what it is, you know? Yeah. Not to worry, when XRP is $100 and ADA is 1,000, we're all gonna make it.
I was telling you guys, you know, I could see ADA going, you know, to multiple dollars. You know, actually, let's take a look at where that's at. That'd be interesting to see. Respond to the market, but like, yeah, I could see ADA. It's not going past $10 this bull market. Right. I don't think.
But I was seeing them getting clowned on yesterday. Like, Cardano's gotten no hacks ever. Like, we've never been hacked ever. Like, do you guys have anything ever? Like, do you guys have anything actually? Like, do you have DeFi at all?
Right.
But that coin's been a surprise.
There's a Meld or Metal, one of the two. Remember that one we were looking at, like, back in August?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, apparently there's like something going on with that, like, towards the end of this month. But like, I don't believe it, you know. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, I just remember some stuff. Like, I'd seen that they were trying to put like somebody, like, they were trying to, somebody in the Cardano community was trying to actually put their project on Cardano, and they're having a hell of a time, which is fucking hilarious to me. But I'm really not trying to shit on Cardano, because it's one of the OG coins, I guess, and it's actually one of the OG coins from last cycle that actually did decent, not too terrible, basically. It did kind of underperform for a while, like in the beginning of the market and stuff, but like then it just did a nice little run and stuff. Yeah, quite a good run. So
from, I think, March of 2020 until the crash, basically the March to March, right? March of 2020 to March of 2021, it had, I think, some of the most gains. The only thing that gained more maybe was Doge in this market, actually. So it doesn't mean, you know, these coins can pump, right? It doesn't matter what's behind them necessarily all the time. But yeah, we'll take a look here for Lift program at the ETH to Bitcoin chart. I think that's a good thing to look at as well. And then Satos with the $5 super chat says, what chart signal would you consider to be a sign of reversal? We talked about that. Go back to the very beginning of the stream, but I'll show that again, because I know there's going to be people wandering in at different points. So I'll get into that here in another second. I'll just give you a really quick version of that. DJ Psychonet says, I just love those copyright violations.
Is now a good entry into dog coins? Probably not until the GUI goes down, probably, because that's why people buy dog coins, for being for real. Yeah, I think you should, if you guys do have access to like other chains and stuff, you may have to boost up the gas fees, which is kind of hilarious. Like I've been hearing people having their transactions failing on AVAX as well.
Oh,
So
really?
AVAX, Phantom, I think some Solana stuff is getting pretty slow too. So when it dips hard, everyone's like, it's all janky like that. So you're probably gonna have to boost your. It's kind of like just like you have to increase how much you're paying per gas. You're probably gonna have to ratchet up a bunch of dollars. Like since Phantom's so cheap, you'd probably boost up to 10 Phantom per transaction, which sounds like a lot of money, but it's like
20 bucks.
15 bucks, 15
Yeah,
bucks.
that
So
one
like,
now, yeah.
yeah, not right. Yeah, and then make sure don't forget to change it back basically. But that's a way to do it.
Mm-mm. Yeah, this was Stimmy check equals Bitcoin. Says looks like you can transfer your Phantom as an ERC20 from Phantom to KuCoin. Yeah, you could. I think I'd have to double check, but I know KuCoin also does have the native tokens, right? So not only just the ERC20 version, but also the native version. So just to,
Right.
you can probably
You have to double check. You got to double check.
Yeah. What I would do is I would go onto there and I would, send a small test transaction of like $10, $50 first and see which one hits, before, being 100% sure. But let's see here. So I'll go to the ETH to Bitcoin chart here, and then we'll go into some of those levels for those people who might be later to the stream. Also, we do have looks like 570 people watching us live, 370 of those on my channel, 200 it looks like on Dollarcost Crypto's channel. So smash that like button. We only have 179 likes on my side. I'm not sure how many there are on your side, but we want to
139.
So let's get to a 1-to-1 ratio. So
let's get it. Yeah.
Miguel has a better ratio right now in terms of this. So you guys got to pump it up here. We got 185. We got to get that up 200 on my channel. So
boost my numbers, you guys. Charlie can't beat me, you guys. Come on.
Yeah, this is definitely a race for likes. Elmo says like or get rugged.
I fucking love that picture, man. It's like
I do too. It's great. And I mean, we could pull up the Elmo meme. Just make sure you don't do that in this market.
Oh, right. Yeah. Dude, that was the funniest thing when I saw that in 2017. That shit was hilarious.
That was one of the best memes there is. All right. So yeah, they're starting to get there, but we want to get the likes up to 300 on my side, guys. So if you could please oblige. All right. So what do we got going here? Well, it looks like we're holding up, right? So at least for now. So let's go over to that good old ETH to Bitcoin chart. Not really much change here. I'll take this off for now. Not too much change here. ETH is basically, this is the cool thing, right? I think this is definitely one of the better ways to look at the current market. So the stuff that I was holding in a place that you can count, how much your portfolio is related to Bitcoin, the amount of So here's the other thing, right? When I think this is sometimes hard for people to understand who are newer to the market, but because it took me several years really to get this concept down, like to understand it and like internalize it, which is, it sounds stupid, but right, one Bitcoin is always one Bitcoin. Right. I heard people say that all the time in 2017. I'm like, you guys are retarded. But yeah, when you understand one Bitcoin is always one Bitcoin, we're here to cultivate crypto. And we're not here to cultivate dollars, right? Dollars will come over the long term. When you look at this chart, right, the ETH to Bitcoin ratio in terms of them, right, ETH is still breaking out against Bitcoin technically. And so there's no real change here, right, in the short term. Right. If we zoom out to the long term on this, right, we're still at those same levels. So this really doesn't look any different than the other day. And so ETH is still outpacing Bitcoin, which is good to know. Right. And so, like I said, one of the accounts that I was holding, the amount of that my portfolio was worth there in Bitcoin actually hasn't changed, which means the altcoins are keeping pace and they're not going down like much bigger percentages than Bitcoin itself, right? So you got ETH holding up against Bitcoin, right? You got the altcoins holding up against Bitcoin. And so, yeah, you still got the same amount of Bitcoin per se in your portfolio, right? Once, the altcoins start picking up larger than Bitcoin, right, and start like really taking to the downside, that's when, okay, then you started to, reduce your portfolio, which the ultimate goal is to get more Bitcoin and ETH, right? So yeah, things are looking good here when you look at it in crypto terms.
Yeah, I'm really proud of ETH. It's been doing pretty good recently. Basically.
Wonder why.
Wonder why.
Yeah, let's look at the ETH chart. We haven't looked at that yet. Oh, before we do, there was one guy wondering, where's the line in the sand before we run around with chickens with our heads cut off. Let's go to.
Charlie must have 100 charts.
Oh, dude, I love my charts. It's just it's like kind of like a math problem, you just throw some different things on there. You look at the different angles, and that's why I love the on-chain data as well, because it just gives you extra angles to look at the market at. But this is the line in the sand right here, right? Is the previous 60-day cycle low, right? That's the main line in the sand. So that's at 39,600. Technically speaking, it's 39,611 is what I have here, but technically speaking, it's 39,573, right? So we want to make sure Bitcoin stays above there. And then, the daily closes, we want to make sure Bitcoin closes above this 200-day moving average going into next week. And then on the weekly chart, right, we want to hold, if we can, we want Bitcoin to hold above this 50-week moving average, which is currently at $47,000. Now, the 50-week moving average will go up in the next 1 week. It's been going up about $800 to $500 to $800 a week. So if it goes up another $700 from here, that would be about $47,500. So you probably want to close above 40 on the weekly on Bitcoin, above 47,500, and above 48,000 would be ideal. So right, Bitcoin here starting to get some buyback pressure. So we have a day and 17 hours now for Bitcoin to close above 48,000 would be ideal. And then we'll see how it shakes out next week. We might get one more flush down at the beginning of next week, I would think, if that were the case. So let's say a good scenario here, we close above $48,000 in the next day and a half for Bitcoin. Then the beginning of next week, maybe somewhere between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we get one flush down potentially to test that area again, because people try taking longs, in this type of dip. It flushes those leverage traders out, right? Then it settles. We get, an official cycle low here on a lengthening cycle, and then price starts to recover. If that were, that scenario happens next week, then I would say, yeah, we're probably going to be ranging in December then between, the current area to probably low 60,000s or high 59,000. So we're probably not, it's probably just mainly going to range in that area for a bit. So that's what I would say with different lines in the sand to look at. But for ETH, like you said, right, ETH has been holding up pretty good against Bitcoin. I think the low on ETH chart here was $3,503. And if we take a look on the fib levels, right, from the lows to the highs here, that's that's a lot cleaner on ETH than it is on Bitcoin, the fib levels. It came down and touched that 0.618 perfectly, right to the T. So if anybody had any Hail Mary buy orders there, good on you. And ETH has more, I guess, previous price action around that level as well, which is why it's probably holding up, significantly better than Bitcoin. If the area in the sand for ETH, I would say you might start seeing really bad movement if ETH were to go below 3130. And especially if we were to take this from the lows here. Let's see what we get if we take it from the previous cycle low to this high and then delete the previous one. Yeah, you can see that previous cycle low on ETH was at $2,651, right? And so we want to make sure that it stays above that 2,800 and definitely above the $2,600 level. If ETH were to crash that far down, then it would start obviously bleeding out a lot more. But ETH's major line in the sand would be about $2,378. So if ETH were to break below 2,380, that would be a reversal, and then boom, official maybe longer term bear market. So those are the different lines in the sand to pay attention to. But usually when we get a flash crash like this, right? I don't know. We've experienced. Where did we experience it before? Like I mentioned, we experienced it here in March in May of this year, April, May, and then we experienced this one here with the Corona crash. But there's actually one more in this bull market that we experienced, which was when Backed came out.
Right.
Everybody.
Is that when we went to 14K?
Yeah. Yeah, we were at 13K in the high of 2019, and then we came down here to $7,000. And we had this crash here over a day. And I remember when we were watching this candle, which in terms of the candle itself, it was about a drop in a day of 18%, right? And you can see that candle also sticking around that 200-day moving average. Then it did go below there, but we are already in a significant downtrend at that point. So we hadn't been in an uptrend for a while. And so we were going into a longer term mini bear market in the bull market, a wave 2 essentially on the Elliott wave. So that one actually, I would say from the cycle high on that time, that was a 29%, 30% drop. So it wasn't so bad, but you could see after you had that kind of big red candle day, things took time to recover because we are already in a significant downtrend versus, and also, this is, I would say the Corona flash crash is much more similar to this. Simply because we had a nice run up here in the previous cycle, and then we did break below that previous cycle low. But what kept this from turning into like a really bad bear market for Bitcoin was essentially the all-time the low of the bear market. I mean, this was pretty gnarly. We had the low on the bear market at the end of 2018. Right here, the actual low was 3,000. I was going to say 31,000. Now I'm used to Bitcoin up there. $3,122 for Bitcoin, right? And we got here on the low of the Corona crash to $3,850, right? And so that was pretty damn close, a little too close for comfort on that one. But we did have that V-shaped recovery. So I would say on a weekly basis, 3 weeks with the third week being an extreme red, and then a recovery over several weeks there. That looks more similar in this situation. If we're going to compare all 3 crashes that we've had so far in this bull market that were quick flash crashes, I would say this one is more similar. It's like a mini Corona crash. And it kind of makes sense because of the new variant that, the government's shilling or whatever.
I mean, you could probably blame this crash on, Corona Decepticon,
There we go.
Yeah.
We'll blame it on that, and then we'll let the bulls take over and keep pushing the price up on. I'll take it.
No, it's pretty interesting. No, it was a really interesting fact too, because that's what me and Charlie been talking about in the background, that we're thinking that that picture.
Hey man, I like the hat.
Yeah, I love that. Anyway, man, wow, dude, some of you guys' pictures fucking take me out, bro. It doesn't really funny. But anyway, basically what I was trying to say that me and Charlie been talking a little bit in the background in terms of we're seeing like a lot of institutions wanting to buy, but they want to wait until the new year basically, because then they have the whole year. Like if they do kind of a fuck up as an example, they have the whole year to kind of course correct it in a way, so that because they don't log it into the books basically.
I let East West Connection gets a good chunk on that. Glad you did.
Yeah.
There we go. We got Jack in the house. What's up, Jack? Hope you're doing well.
It's not Android 19. It's Super Android 19.
I would say if the dip buyers of the year in 2020 was Greg B, and I would say Jack Napier, actually, he tends to text me when prices are low. So I'm glad to see that Jack's in the house. Nice. Greg's probably actually asleep. I don't think I've seen him in the chat today. So unfortunately, he's going to lose his dip buyer status potentially. So I would give, of the people that have been following this channel long term, I would give maybe, if Jack's going to buy the dip, I would probably say like Jack has a potential to take over that that award from Greg. Or Rich. Rich has been with us for quite a long time and knows when there's discounts, and he smells it. And he's going up here to buy the dip. I'm sure he gives us a £5 super chat. Says, buy when there's blood in the streets, even if it's yours. I love it. I love it. So no, Rich knows, like, I would say he's got the crypto mindset along with Greg B. Rich is a guy who, he's been with the channel for a while. And I just, every time like I ever have a texting session with Rich, it's always like whenever there's blood in the streets, Rich is like, okay, what am I buying now? What am I buying? So I love people with that mindset, because that's really what you need here to strive long term. And I would say, I'm wondering kind of where Rich's portfolio is. We haven't talked in a while, but I'm assuming he's up pretty good despite the dip, just because when was it that he got into the market? I think it was during that March dip as well, actually, or maybe a little bit before. So it's good to see the people who are long-term focused, having the right mindset here.
Definitely.
Let's see what else we got going on in the chat. And DJ and second out laughter is a great coping mechanism. Yes, sir. That's why we got the memes. What do you think? Why do you think crypto has so many memes? It is true. Lex says, how do you get a texting session? You were watching my channel in 2019 and 2020 when nobody else was, before we broke 20,000. After we broke 20,000, bro, me and Miguel were going to the moon. After we break 100,000, you might never be able to hear from us again. Joking on that one. Already, God damn it, we got rugged.
Man, I'll drink to that, man. I might have another shot.
There we go. So Joe Burns knows what's up. Says, definitely slipped in my own blood, but made it to the buy button. There we go.
Nice.
By the way, I need to get some discounts here, so I'm going to, if you can take over for a bit,
for sure.
I'm just gonna mute myself here and go grab a little bit of this dippy dip.
No, definitely, man. I'm 25 and I feel great. No, don't leave us. But now, go to my channel and hit the like button. More likes than Charlie's channel. Watch him rush back. No.
God damn it, bro! I still got my earbuds.
I feel it. No, but hey, man, here's to everybody who bought the dip right here, man. This is for you guys, man. Salud. Woo! Damn, that's good. Got more of that sweet KSM. Yeah, it didn't dip as much as I'd hoped, but that means a lot of people were buying. A lot of the Kusama coins held up pretty well. Like, I can't really share my screen, but RMRK held up pretty well. I mean, it didn't even dip really. It's like down, like it's at $50 right now, so it didn't even really dip at all. So held up pretty well. A lot of the NFT guys and stuff are hella into that coin. So yeah. If TCC doesn't do more Mickey Mouse voice, I think he can get more viewers. Oh, really? But in terms of low caps, are you loading up on right now? I wasn't really picking up low caps, really. I picked up a lot of Phantom, some Kusama as well. I caught it, obviously right now it's like I caught some at like 280 and stuff. I think it's like 288 or 292 right now for Kusama. Obviously, if Hex had dipped, I think it only dipped. The biggest dip I saw in Hex was it went down to like 16 cents. So I'm fine. If it went lower, obviously I would have bought basically. But if you're going to buy Hex, you got to kind of buy heavier, just because the gas fees are essentially horrendous right now. I think even right now it's like I think a transaction on Uniswap is probably like $800-900 right now. Right now, currently the Ethereum gas fee is down to 217, so the fees are coming down right now. So you'll soon enough be able to buy back in and stuff. So let's check Eluvium real quick. So Eluvium right now is about $1,300. Yeah, it didn't dip too bad. It's only down 16% so far. I mean, right now it went as low as like it touched like 1,100. Wow, Jesus Christ. Yeah. So shout out to anyone who was able to buy that dip and stuff, man. Magic Cat's holding my portfolio. Yes, sir. Can you buy Hex on Matic? I think you could have a while back, but I'm not sure too much on the liquidity. But I remember way back in the day, basically. Yeah, Eluvium's so high. That's what I was saying with Eluvium and stuff, because of all the money. So all the money that's locked up to gain the rewards in the pools gives it a shit ton of liquidity. So you really need one of the biggest whales in the ecosystem to try to dump the price down. So if the biggest whales are not dumping the coin, it's really hard for that coin to really go down. In terms of that and stuff. So Gareth, DCC, do you have a preference for KSM over DOT? I actually do. Yeah, KSM fucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, first fucking date. It's not even the first fucking date. I mean, literally, like KSM fucks like you just like right there. Doesn't even take the bitch out to dinner and shit. Oh my god, looks like all my transactions.
Wait for that dot wave 3. just saying. All right, I'll be quiet.
Kusama fucks no rubber, son. He's like
buying ETH first.
That's all you hear in Kusama's fucking room. Right there, just clapping cheeks.
Yeah, look at the charts, bro. Go look at I agree. Kusama's my dark horse. I fucking love Kusama, but go and look at the Kusama to dot ratio. We'll take a look at that in a second, because not too far off.
I saw the other day. I think it's back at 10 right now, but I know before that it did crash down pretty terrible. I think it was like as low as like 6.2 or something, 6.2 on the
it recovered against it. But we'll pull up the charts, because the charts don't lie, bro.
It's okay, bro. Yeah.
Look at Angela.
I know Charlie. I'm sorry. KFC balls train today.
I love it.
That's nice. Yeah. It didn't dip as much as I wanted it to, though. But it's fine. Yeah. But it's still pretty good. Yeah.
I'm over here. I'm buying ETH first. Then I'm gonna go over and I'll probably buy some Phantom, some Kusama. I'll split my Kusama and dot buys, probably.
Yeah. Phantom still like $1.50. Yeah, be careful buying it on. Somebody was telling me earlier that Phantom on Gemini right now is like $1.90. Like, fuck that. What the fuck? Like, here, I'll check right now. Let's see all Gemini here. Let's see. It is. Oh, now it's corrected. Oh, so you can buy it for $1.50 now on Phantom. So for a minute though, it was there for $1. It was $1.92. Even like 15 minutes ago. So that's, some people probably arbitrage it down. But yeah. Boom, 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 boom. 1 point. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good price. I got a pretty decent buy at like basically $1.30, basically. Yeah, Boo's down as well and stuff, but I don't think it's as down as much as let me see, where's Boo at? Let's see. Boo's at like $12.99. $12.99. Wow. For $12.99, you could buy yourself a Boo. It's at, I think it's like down 28% right now, at least on the day. Let's see where's Phantom at. The day. So it's, yeah, they pretty much kind of lockstep with each other. So if you're in the Kusama to dot like Phantom play or whatever, you didn't really get any permanent loss other than like the dollar values changing and stuff. So it's pretty good. So yeah, man. Spirit is fucked. What's Spirit's price at? I don't even know what Spirit's price at. Oh my god, I bet you it's fucking horrible. Let's see. Oh well, it's not that okay. That's not that bad. I mean, like it was 13 cents beforehand. I know it was like 13, 14 cents a couple days ago and stuff. But yeah, dude, if what would have been bad is seeing this at like 3 cents. I was like, Jesus Christ, that would have been bad. But hey, man, definitely. Hit me up with questions, you guys. What's going on, man? But basically, yeah, buy your coins. Just be cognizant of gas. Obviously, if you're buying bigger, if you're buying in bigger chunks and stuff, then that's fine. Then just be cognizant of like the Gwei price and stuff right now. Okay. Yeah, KSN wick down to yeah, man. But Angela, man, you caught fucking 90-cent fucking Phantom, man. I mean, that's good enough, man. Jesus, why did I get? Check on my coins. Yeah, man. There's actually some people right now on the East Coast that probably just slept through this entire thing. Just slept through it all. You wake up this morning like, what the fuck? What just happened? Yeah, but let's see. What's the minimum hex to buy because of the gas fee? So if the gas fees right now are between $400 to $500, I would say probably $10,000 buy, $5,000 buy. You really don't want to be the gas fee to be more than like 10% of the total amount of at least the dollar value of Ethereum that you're buying of Hex, basically. So if you have a $500 gas fee to buy Hex on Uniswap, right, or on Matcha or wherever else you buy it and stuff, you basically need $5,000 to $10,000 for it to make sense. So whatever that number is, if it's $800, you basically need, $8,000 to like $16,000 basically. So it's that way it's only a 10 or 5% hit in terms of a tax for doing the transaction, if that makes sense. So there you go. Yeah. Oh, people are asking questions on CC's channel too. Let me see. Let me pull up that YouTube right now too. Let's take a quick look.
I'll be back in a moment. I'm almost done. I got already got the ETH, got the Xama, got the DOT, got the Phantom. Got to get some Solana next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Solana at right now, man? Let me see it.
Let's see here.
At 190, it's like, yeah, not bad.
Hold it. God damn, it's holding up too well. I'm like, God damn it, Sol, get me cheaper Sol. So it was at 190 just the other day when everything else was still up. Come on, Sol, give me a better discount than this.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
VJ right here is like, I was in the East Coast and I just got in from the club. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Damn, somebody in the chat said I'd hold off on Sol. Well, not me. I'm not using all my dry powder right now. I'm using about 30% of the dry powder that I had ready to buy anyways. So yeah.
No, definitely. Like Charlie buying that shit behind the screen. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely what he's doing, man. DCC, how much ETH should I have to cash in around April when the gas prices? Well, obviously you should have obviously, we always been telling you guys to buy some Ethereum. It's just good to have Ethereum in the wallets and stuff, so you're able to pay for these transaction fees and stuff. So I would say, if you have an Ethereum in like whatever wallets you're going to use for gas fees, then every other Ethereum above that is basically just gravy, basically. So I know for some people it's going to take a while to get to that, but as long as you have like a quarter of an Ethereum for gas fees, you're fine. You might be able to do like 1 or 2 transactions, but that's enough to do a move, basically a concentrated move. But yeah, let's see. How do you guys keep your dry powder? I have it on USDC. Is there a better strat? I use USDC. Sometimes I do use Tether, but that's if I'm using something like a KuCoin or something like that. If not, then I haven't really messed around too much with like MIM, but like MIM's doing pretty good as well. But I mostly use USDC, if I'm being honest. Let's see. Woo, Antonio, man, what's going on, man? Early freaking Xmas. Ooh, and at all-time lows, woke up to piss. God damn, son. Buying Dot and Phantom. Fucking shout out, homie. Shout out. That's what's up. That's one hell of a piss, man. Waking up to that, man. Shit, man. You might be thanking yourself later. It's so funny. Like, let me see where's Dot at right now. Dot is currently at $27 right now. That's a pretty good discount. I mean, like, let's see what 7 days ago. Yeah, it was like $39, $37. So yeah, nice little $10 discount. Shoo, you guys! This is the sales, man. You'll pick up your coins now before Christmas. What you gonna get your kids? Phantom, Hex, Solana, Polkadot.
Yeah, so I mean, I got here. I got some Solana, I got some ETH, I got some Phantom, I got some DOT and Kusama with the dry powder. I still have, I didn't want to spend the dry powder on these main coins. I wanted to spend it more on shit coins. But now that we're getting these discounts, I just, like if we go lower, I took about 30% of my dry powder that I was looking to at least use. I still have more that I could throw out if we got like super ridiculous stuff, but I'm trying to keep it, somewhat sober. But like, I'm probably going to plan for the other 70% of this stuff to look into the middle of next week. That's probably where I'm going to be really scoping out some other stuff in terms of like, okay, if we get some recovery, right, then I might go more towards lower cap coins and stuff that's a little bit more risky. But if we're still dumping on then it's just like use that dry powder to buy up main stuff. That's really what I'm kind of how I'm looking at the market right now. But Bell
is on deep discount right now.
I'm not touching that shit right now. No, thank you, sir. No.
Yeah, because like when I got into it at I think it was like 1.1 cents. So right now it's like at 83% of a penny. So it's down to like I couldn't really pull up anything on my side just because you left and stuff.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, because I'd have to press. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Oh boy, Spell is in no man's land right now.
Who?
Spell. I just said
Oh
it's
yeah,
no
Spell.
man's
Yeah,
land right now. Like Jesus Christ.
I kind of know what already happened. Why it dumped down so bad. I mean, people were selling it for MIM. The stable.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, here. Yeah. I've been saying this on the Friday streams for the last 2 weeks, but let's see here. Let's share this chart. This is a fun one to look at some of these altcoins during these dips because they have less. What do you call it?
Liquidity.
Not just liquidity, but also just less price chart experience if they're new in this bull market. So they're going to have actually some of them, they'll have less support areas. And if they have less support areas, they're going to drop down harder than other coins. So we have 393 people watching on my channel, only 284 likes. Get that past like 320, you lazy bastards.
Bastards.
I don't know. Just having fun here. Just having fun. Don't mean that in a negative way, right?
Dual stream, you guys. Dual stream. Two windows up for both channels, you guys.
Yeah, double click it, baby. Double click it.
Eiffel Tower in this bitch, you guys. Come on.
So what do we got going here, right? This is what I was saying basically on Spell is if you take a look at this area right here, this was basically its area of last resort, and you can kind of see that area was holding up as support, but it hadn't yet caught its 10-day moving average. And so until it was going to catch its 10-day moving average, it had a lot more downside left to it. I would say percentage-wise, it might not be as bad as it looks right here. I mean, it's, well, actually, no, it is. It's about 28% drop on the day versus if I were to look at Bitcoin on the day, just kind of comparing to macros. Yeah, actually, no, not bad at all. Actually, it's still holding up pretty well compared to what it could be doing. Right, it could be dropping much further down, like 50%. But here's the thing, right? Is that if you just look at it related towards its previous price action, it has no experience in this area. So, yeah, you're gonna have to have some people willing to buy the falling knife, essentially. So just get in front of it and hold that up, and then if it does. And it does recover that 10-day moving average and then 20-day moving average and actually starts going up from there. And the rest of the market obviously would have to recover as well. But if that were to do something like that, then, it would prevent it from coming all the way down, back down to like 4 cents. Because otherwise it just has no prior price action in this area that was long enough to really give the price any support. So if the market weakens, I would say this one probably is going to puke up a lot more. So you have to look on Bitcoin on the daily chart again. And if we get Bitcoin going below that area of the 200-day moving average and then below the previous cycle low, that's where you would see something like Spell start to come down towards this cluster here, which would be between 3 to 4 cents at least. Right. So that's why
40% of a penny or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, right. That there's an extra zero there that I didn't see. You're right. So yeah, basically, on stuff like this, I would prefer to wait to see how the market shakes out. And like I said, if the market shakes out and holds those lines for Bitcoin and then recovers a little bit after next week, right? Then, buying some of that cheap low cap coins basically will be more safe at that period of time versus right now. Like if Bitcoin did dump down lower, and start going into a bit more of a negative trend, then I mean you're going to get like much steeper discounts on a coin like Spell. So sometimes patience does pay. You don't need to. It's nice to take some nibble action like we're doing here on stream and buy up some coins that are cheap. But it's, in my opinion, it's not very bright to throw everything in all at once, and especially on lower cap coins at the current moment, because you want to be able to right now. The coins to buy are coins that you're willing to hold, in my opinion, in a true bear market, right? Whenever you get a situation like this, you got to look at like what's the most risk that you could hold. And, if you don't think a coin will survive a bear market or you're not sure, stick to the stuff that, is long term. And, so that's why I easily bought up some Sol, easily bought up some Ethereum, Kusama, Phantom, because I do think those coins are here for the long term. And I would say Hex was already at a discount. Has it reacted at all to this?
It initially on the dip, it just went down to 16. Jesus Christ with these transactions. All late and shit. So wow.
It's holding up.
Yeah, it held up pretty well. It just went, yeah, I just saw it, the worst case. I mean, at least when I saw it, I only saw it go down 16 cents, and it just went up to 17 again. So
yeah, it's at 17 right now, or just under. It looks like.
Did it dip down to 15 at all? I hadn't seen it.
We can look at it on 2 charts because there's going to be something like Hex. There's going to be a couple different price points actually, depending on which area you're using. So let's go over to these charts.
Family getting crypto for Christmas. Definitely, man.
So if we go over to the Uniswap.vision chart, I mean, if we're looking at it on a weekly basis, it's actually held that previous Fibonacci line quite well. And so it hasn't made a new low yet compared to where it was last week. If we go down to the daily chart, right? It actually, the lowest on Uniswap, I think this is V1. The lowest it came down here was 17.1 cents. I guess on V2 it probably did go down a little bit deeper. And if you do take a look at it on TradingView, it's at 16.9 cents right now, and the low on there, which I think is Uniswap V2, is 17, or the lowest it came down to is 15.8. So it still hasn't broken its previous lows that it had a few days ago, as well as like last week, or sorry, not last week, early November. So it's holding up there. Kind of curious to see what the 3-day chart looks like. We wanted it to close green, but this 3-day chart is not going to do that. So not at least by the way it looks right now. So, but yeah, Hex is holding up because it already had some dip there. I got frozen. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're really frozen.
Like just it's my OBS probably. So let me close that and open that back up.
OBS, yeah, you know me. Whoa, now you're just a blank screen.
Technical difficulties.
Oh boy.
All right, there we go. Am I back and animated again?
Yep.
All right. Should we go back into the chat again?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. He talked Hex. Yes, that's true. Yes, we talked Hex.
Of course, we talk Hex all the goddamn time for people who don't pay attention.
Go ahead.
Oh man, I'm waiting for Pulse because I can't wait to talk about Pulse once we get those coins in our wallets, baby. It's gonna be nice.
Oh, that is something interesting just to say for 1 second. So Richard retracted. So he had put out the numbers for the Pulse chain points and stuff, and to see how much you got. He said, "Yeah, I released that a little early. My bad."
Come on, man.
So those might be a little off. A little off.
Okay. If it's a thin margin of error, I'm not too worried about it. I didn't even check how much I was supposed to be getting at all yet. Just because I figure, when it hits the wallet, you'll figure it out. You don't really, It's not really anything to worry about. But that's kind of funny.
When waffle swap, you guys? Well, not now, but soon.
Yeah. When waffle swap, hopefully that sacrifice is soon.
That sacrifice soon. Shout out to Q4.
We want just whatever. Yep.
Yeah. But dude, Richard's suit was insane for the so for you guys who didn't know, 2 days ago was Hex's birthday. And man, that suit was insane. He was full gold out, I like head to toe, man. That was pretty cool.
There's been some pretty damn good memes that came out of that. Like people just having a good time with it or whatever. There was one, I think it was one of the was it the Eddie Murphy movie Coming to America or something like that? There was a one that was put out. I mean, we can go through them but actually we're gonna get copyright for those again. Because like there's just some good memes there. All the Hexicans were loving it. Like they were all, just having a good time with that. So
I would have gone if it wasn't for all the Android 19 restrictions.
They
were pretty hardcore. I have no idea. I mean, honestly, a lot of people were kind of like, man, why did they have it in the UK out of everywhere? Like, like we could have chose anywhere else in Europe, but
Got Peter Wang. One-way ticket to the moon. Love you, Peter. Let's see here. Interesting. Sergio says, as a beginner in the crypto game, should one focus on getting a whole coin or just some of it at this point in the market? Depends on how much you're putting in. And so if you're putting in, let's say, anywhere between $20,000 to $50,000 into the market, obviously you wouldn't want to throw that in like all at once, right? You're going to want to dollar cost average that in. But I would say, yeah, you could get one whole coin on ETH easy, right? So like if ETH is what 30% of 50,000 would be like what? Or sorry, that would be like $10,000. So you can grab maybe 2 ETH if you're going to put in that $50,000. Right. But yeah, like I did try to kind of I upped the amounts a little bit. Like I fudged the percentages. I probably put in closer to like 35 or so percent because like a couple of the coins I was like, well, I can get a little bit more closer to another little bit of a coin here and there with Ethereum and with Solana and with DOT.
Unifies is undefeated, you guys.
It
undefeated.
It is. I'm looking for somebody's super chat. Apparently, I missed one.
Yeah, dude. My favorite memes of the whole conference were like people that are blacked out, drunk, or sleeping. People started putting like wrappers and like cat bars on their heads and stuff.
I did see one where they put somebody with like you could clearly tell it was Photoshop, but the guy was like they put him in like an alley and like said like we'll do something for Hex. I was like, oh man, that was brutal, but it did give me a good lull. Let's see here. We got Ari with the 199 super chat says thoughts on Aave and FTX. Okay, we'll take a. Well, I think you mean FTT. We'll take a look at those
right,
two.
Right,
sure,
yeah,
sure.
Coffee has a drinking problem. Yeah, too much caffeine, you guys. It's bad for you.
It is. It is. I think I was the only one that I missed.
JK.
Apparently, it makes you a genius.
Apparently, led to the Enlightenment.
Oh, I thought you were talking about not. I didn't know you were talking about that coffee. I thought you were talking about actual coffee. I got you. Now I see it in the chat. Oh, okay, I got what you're saying.
Oh my god, that's funny. Yeah,
paying attention to that.
Yeah, Unibias is a bitch, man. It affects. I caught myself the other day like falling for it, and I was like, I almost overinvested. I was like, wait, what am I doing? Stop. Yeah. If I have 1.68 ETH, does that make me a good boy? Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I do sometimes like whenever we get anybody with negative vibes in the chat, I'll just be like, I won't be shy on using this timeout button. Let's see here. What the hell?
My mind's telling me yes, but my body's
We're gonna getting karaoke night here.
Yeah.
Let's see. So let's take a look at FTT and Aave, and what else do we want? Well, we wanted to look at Cardano just for lulls. Cardano too. And then Dustin Olson with the 998 super chat says, "What do you guys think about waiting for Dot's Wave 3 run and then sell to buy Kusama shoe?" Yeah, I mean that's one option. I would say what I would probably do if you're going to worry about whether you're in more Kusama or more in Dot, go into Kusama at these prices, right? Once Dot breaks its previous all-time high, which was like $50 some, right, then flip into Dot. You ride that Wave 3 up, and then depending on what the timing of the end of the Wave 3 is the main thing. Depending on where that is, if the timing is still well before Kusama has more of its supply coming out of the market, you can flip it into Kusama then. And then when Kusama supply comes into the market, then you flip it back into the Dot. You can do a bunch of flips, but again, it also does depend on where you are for your taxes, right? So doing that many flips, right, for some people will create more tax events and might not be worth it. So take that into account as well. Depending on what you're doing, hashtag not financial advice, hashtag not life advice. I like to keep it simple and hold both. But that's just me.
That's really funny right there. My mind's telling me yes, but my wallet's telling me no.
I like it.
Whatever the wife doesn't know, you guys.
Hey, that's why we have these decentralized exchanges, right?
Dude, there's such a horrible meme in the Hex community where like it's like this dude hugging his wife. He's like, "Baby, Hex is on discount right now. Okay, get my purse."
Yeah, I saw that one.
That was gold.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah, it's funny. Good question there. VHAB, when does more supply come out on Kusama? Isn't it like May 13th?
May, yeah, second week of May or third. Well, I guess it'd be like end of the second week, first day of the third week.
Okay, so like somewhere between May 10th to 15th ish.
correct. So up until then, I mean, right now we're like at 29% of the total supply locked up on Kusama. And it's continuing to lock up more. It's just more and more is getting locked up, so it's really good.
Let's see here. Paul says wife's asleep. It's all good. Perfect. There's got to be a meme on that. She didn't know I was behind the dip. It's like middle of the night, guys on his computer trying to get there to buy the charts. That's great.
Coinbase, who's Coinbase? Who's that bitch?
Well, Coinbase is probably down. I do give props for KuCoin and the exchanges that stick up during these periods of time. I do hats off to those guys. So what we're gonna look at? We're gonna look at. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, we were gonna look at FTT. We were gonna look at Aave. We were gonna look at ADA and
That's it. Yeah. All right. What were you gonna say though?
Oh yeah, so I got to give some props also to Gemini. Totally worked this entire time. Because I actually had it was so funny while you were calling me, my brother was calling me. He's like, Miguel, I just bought $100 of Phantom. I was like, fuck yeah. Nice. So yeah, I was all proud. I was actually really proud. I was like, dude, this dip's insane, Miguel. I'm aping it. How much are you aping? Like $100? I was like, heck yeah, man, get what you can get, man. That's cool.
I like it. And yeah, the unit bias there as well is pretty good because like if it's closer to $1.50, right? Then he can get a lot of coins with that. So that's nice.
Definitely. He's got little T-shirts and stuff. He's just like, I can't collect my T-shirt rewards on Tomb.
Yeah, I was gonna say which T-shirts is he playing with? Yeah, because that was somebody asked. I think it was Gareth in the chat was asking like which lower cap coin were you looking at or whatever, and got some eyes there on some extra T-shares. So
I as an example, so I collect T-shirts across the board.
There you go. All across the T-shirts.
I like T-shirts across
all the T-shirts.
Yeah, but it is interesting. So even half a T-shirt, which is like this is yesterday's math.
Yeah, where is that right now? I want to know where that is.
It's held up pretty good. I think the price 13,000 or 12,000, somewhere in that range. So if you have even half a T-shirt and you're earning interest on it, you're basically earning like $60 to $70 a day. Pretty passive. So pretty good. Yeah. Nice. So it's a good way to DCA, and then you can just sell it for like either store. So there's like two plays with that. You save up the Tomb for a while because they might release like based on exchange where you have to spend Tomb to actually buy like altcoins and brand new like ICOs basically that are coming out on like Tomb Swap or like on the FTM swap. That's going to be on Binance Cloud Exchange, which is pretty cool. Or you just sell it for Phantom. And right now, like the ratio, I looked at the ratio earlier. The ratio is like this. So it's like $1.80 for like $1.50 for Phantom. Okay. So yeah, so you're getting way more. So when you sell your Tomb, you're getting way more Phantom out of it, which is the real point.
Nice,
so,
nice.
Yeah.
We got Sam Ascar in the chat says, when should we flip some car into a call? Well, you won't be able to until between the 17th to 20th of December. So around then, I would probably be looking at that. And then we'll take a look at those charts. Jonathan Rivera. I don't think I've seen him in the chat before, but 199 super chat says Q2 guy wondering what's up with synthetics. It took too long of a vacation, bro, if you're waiting 6 months here. But basically ERC20 related tokens, right, because of high gas fees have had a lot of issues. So synthetics being one of them, Celsius being another. We've basically pared down our positions on that. We've talked about that in the Q4 course. We've also talked about that live on YouTube. So, that's basically what I have done.
We talked about it a little bit on Q3 as well.
Did we? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
we probably did. Yep. And sometimes everything blends together.
3 months is a long time in crypto, for real. A lot happens, man. But
yeah. But got to time out some more people. But we got Paul.
Am I not seeing all the chats? Man.
No, you can't. I think you can see so like we have in the chats that are in the StreamYard, you can see all of the ones you can see of those are on both of our channels. And then I have my channel on the left side of my left screen. That's where I'm just looking. If anybody's negative in the chat, I just pop them. Yeah. But it looks like somebody's basically spamming your chat, so you probably want to ban that.
Yeah, I'll get him out of here. Give me 1 second.
But Paul here in the chat. Wife finds deals at Target. I find sales in deep web at 2 a.m. I like it.
Hey, Charlie, that might be on yours, man. That's not on
It's
mine.
not it's not showing up on my live feed. So if it's not on yours, then it's probably on Twitch. That's where it is.
Ooh, well.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about Twitch, so whatever. I have like 5 followers on Twitch.
Donald, DCC, are you confident in Boo's recovery? Yes, I am. It just crashed alongside Phantom, basically. Like,
yeah, it seems like a coin that people just use to get more Phantoms. So it's just going to have its periods of cultivation, right? That where it pumps up and people cultivate it. Pumps up, people cultivate it. I got to use that word as much as possible.
Yeah,
It's just because there might be something
funny.
to it.
Yeah, there's no way to ban that dude. Oh well, I guess it's what
I'd have to literally log into Twitch. I could care less, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Nothing wrong.
But
it kind of seems like the sell off has been basically, at least what I can tell from most coins, it's like a 25% on the best case to like 50% on some coins, I guess, or 40% depending on the coin, I guess. I wonder which coin lost the most. If we looked at the top 300, I wonder which one went down the most. Probably like.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
You want to take a look? You want to try?
Yeah, let's take a look. It'd be funny. Yeah, it'd be good to see. Maybe there's actually an interesting coin in there.
Give me time to log into Twitch and ban this guy.
All right. Yeah. So I'll take a look real quick at the top 100 right now. Let's look at the last, I guess, 24 hours. I guess. Let's see. So Thor Chain is the one that's down the most on the top 100 right now for on page 1. So that's Thor Chain, then Theta Network, then ICP, which you should just go to 0. Let's go to page 2 now. Let's see. And the best held up coin, magically internet money, of course. Tether, let's see, Frax held up pretty well. Wow, Frax held up pretty well. Yeah, AMP as well. AMP something really down 10%. So FTT held up pretty well as well. So heck yeah. Let's see page 2. So page 2, Spell Token is down 34%, and Vulcan Forged, I have no idea what that is, but yeah. DYDX is also down 25%. So like most coins are really down like, that 25 to 15%, somewhere in that range. Let's see page 3.
It's not very different than Bitcoin right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty actually good. And the reason why they're holding up is because they are above the 200-day moving average. So that's.
So Bitfrost is down 43%. This is page 3. So good luck. Shit coins, but Ampleforce is down 32% right now. And Swipe. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard of Swipe in a minute since like Q1, the Q1 course, basically. My Alice neighbor and stuff. Yeah, man. So most of these coins, it's just like an average you're just going to have across the board. DeFi Kingdom is down 20%. So around the board, you're basically getting a 20% off sale, basically. Yeah. Nothing wrong. This time is when the whales get exposed what coins they really hold. Yeah. So let's see.
It's funny when I log into YouTube, I see both of our streams with the same thumbnail. It's kind of funny.
Right.
But that guy is definitely not in your chat because he's not on Twitch either.
I am legit. Like I'm for sure on that. Yeah.
Must be StreamYard. It'd be like StreamYard's just messing with us because I logged into Twitch and don't see anything in the chat there.
Yeah.
Got 42 followers on Twitch apparently. Oh well, I guess I'll just ignore that for now because it's not a big deal.
Doesn't say what chat he's from.
It says YouTube on his little thumbnail thing, but it's definitely not in my chat and it's not in your chat. So I don't know why it's showing up on our StreamYard. Anywho, let that get in the way. Jose Navarro with the $5 super chat says, this is a time when the whales get exposed for coins they really hodl. Yeah, you already mentioned that, right?
Yep.
And then Genesis 4K with 499 says, just stop it in. What are your current favorite buy recommendations for this current dip? What coins have you bought so far, DCC?
I have bought Phantom, Kusama, and let me double check. I guess I bought some. What was that thing called? I bought some RMRK a little bit, not too much of it and stuff, but it's mostly been just Phantom and like Kusama on this dip, basically. I still need to buy some more stuff right now.
ETH, come on, bro, get some ETH. No, I don't know anything under $4,000 ETH. I'm licking my chops. But what do we got here? So for me, I bought, what did I say? I got Bitcoin, or sorry, not, I didn't buy any Bitcoin. I bought ETH, bought Solana, bought DOT, bought Kusama, and bought Phantom so far.
Yeah.
Holding off. I want to get a little bit more of those T shares, but hold off for now.
Yeah. I haven't been able to do nothing on the Phantom ecosystem just yet, just because I do have some money on there to move around, but it's like transactions are just taking forever right now because so many people are doing a lot of trading right now.
Right. We got Unorthodox, one of the 42 followers I got on Twitch. It says, did not know you stream. Do you always dual stream on Twitch? I do, actually. I always stream on Twitch. Just why not? So I do stream on Twitch. So if you guys want to go over there and pump up the Twitch account, why the hell not? But Rhett Burgess knows what's up. Just I would rather that Twitch people come over to YouTube, basically.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. We did this emergency live stream for all of you guys, for real. So
appreciate you, Unorthodox.
Yeah.
You finish what you're saying. Sorry, I just wanted to. I almost never see people commenting on Twitch, so I just wanted to give that guy a shout out.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, right? It's like, yeah. So Rodney said, thanks for the emergency live stream, you guys. Well, of course, we do this for you guys. We want to make sure that tell you guys the house isn't burning down right now. We're like emptying the piggy bank.
Right. I mean, Bitcoin's popped up, bit since we started streaming as well, and we've been on here. I mean, dude, it feels like this is fun for me.
Yeah.
Like it feels like we've been on for like 15, 30 minutes max. And I look up, we're up on here for like an hour and 41 minutes. Like, this is the times when, crypto's fun. I think there's people who, they're new to the roller coaster essentially. Right. And each, it seems like here every few months, maybe, or every few years, right? In 2019, I would say that backed crash in September after back launched, that was a washout period that really, hardened some people. And I think that was about a 6 to 9 month pullback from 14,000 down to 3,800 in the Corona crash. So a lot of people in 2019 really got their lick in the market if they were new in 2019. Obviously, the 2018 bear market, that's where we got hardened. Then what was the next dip after that? The Corona crash in 2020, obviously. Right, got some people to get some really good buys, and that one is probably one of the easiest recoveries I've seen. Next to the crash that we had in earlier this year in April, May, that whole period, I would say, that gave probably the majority of people who are new to this bull market. That was probably where they got, their long-term view if they stuck around. And then, now, for people who are maybe new to the market in the last 6 months, this is your first kind of crypto baptism. So welcome. But, during these times, I'm having a good time, doing this. So.
Oh, definitely. You can tell the OGs by how chill they are when Rome is burning.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
That's definitely it, man.
I like it. I like the picture there. Yeah,
it's a cool pic.
Looks like we have a new guy in the chat, Aryan, saying, or no, did you just change your, we had another guy named this before. I think he just changed his picture. Are we going to dip more? Only God knows, right? The crypto gods, the crypto whales, only they shall know. But we talked about certain levels to watch for and previously in the stream. So levels to watch for in Bitcoin are the 200-day moving average, which is at 46,300. And then the previous cycle low, which was at 39,573. We want to keep Bitcoin above those prices. Ideally, if Bitcoin can close the week above 48,000, that would be ideal for more upside. Throwaways says baptism by fire. Lots and lots of fire.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to look at those coins, right?
Oh yeah.
I got sidetracked.
Hey, Charlie, I'll be right back 1 second. We'll go buy some stuff.
Yeah, go for it. I'll keep it here on the charts. Let's go take a look at our good friend Cardano. Where are you at? Yeah, Cardano definitely having some issues. But here's the thing with Cardano, right? I would say on the pullback, how much different is it than other coins in the market just on the day? Not much different than Bitcoin, down 23% on the day. So not too much different than Bitcoin. Cardano really needs, in terms of like if we're looking at it on a weekly chart here. Let's see here. Basically, Cardano needs to hold up here above $1.37, right, is where it's currently at, but it needs to hold above, I would say, $1.16 or so would be nice, and that's where its wick came down to. And what really, you don't want to see Cardano going below $1, really. But if you were to take these previous lows to highs, yeah, Cardano really wants to closing the week for Cardano around that $1.50 mark would be ideal for Cardano, so that it can then maybe get some recovery from there. That's what I would want to see on Cardano. And let's see here. We had Aave and FTT, right? Yeah, we'll go to FTT first. I haven't looked at that one in quite a while. Holding up. FTT looking actually pretty decent here. Not looking terrible. Yeah, FTT will, if it pulls back any further, right, it would probably drop down to this cluster anyway. So, I don't see it going much below $25. Also on its pullback so far, it's pulled back a little bit harder than the rest of the coins in the market, about 30%. If it did come all the way down there, there'd be more like a 50% drop from where this area started. So not terrible for FTT, but a little bit more drop here than other things in the market. Has not yet hit its lower Bollinger Bands, so that might be what keeps the price up on the weekly chart. Look at Aave. Aave actually holding up to this previous area as well, right? Hasn't given that area up. So if Aave can hold and get a weekly close above 200, that would be nice. But you want to see it ideally hold above 160, 165. If it were to break that area, then it could come easily down to like below $100. So yeah, you want to see this area for Aave to hold. Turn on the Bollinger Bands. Oh, it's already starting. So this is the difference right here between Aave and FTT and Aave, right? Is FTT. I'll go back and look at it in a second. The Bollinger Bands were not expanding yet. Aave here, the Bollinger Bands are expanding. So you want to see it close above 200 and then get a nice pullback up above 300. If that were to happen over the course of the next week for Aave, that's good news. Whereas if you look at FTT, has not yet dropped down to press the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. So it's actually holding up quite well. And the Bollinger Bands on the weekly close, if the week closes above the current prices or at the current prices, then FTT's Bollinger Bands will actually come up in the next week and keep supporting it. So it looks like FTT just has more support than what Aave has at the current moment. So that's actually pretty good for FTT. But yeah, we just had a super chat on those two coins. So that's the only reason why we're looking at that. Yeah, if anybody has anything else that we want to look at, I will. Billingmeister with the 100 somethings says, how do you feel about RSR? It's relatively a stable coin against Bitcoin, but it does increase against dollars. There is no FTX coin, is there? Not that I've heard of. Yeah, FTX. Oh, is this FinTrueX? You got to confirm. If it's FinTrueX, some shitcoin number 2132, I'll look at that one too. But that's the only FTX coin that is actually FTX. Right, FTT is the exchange token for FTX. So confirm that. Okay, so I'm guessing, Ari, that you're asking, because it says, I was asking about FTX since they were supposed to be a new BNB. So you're asking about FinTrue? I'm guessing FinTrue. If yes, I'll show you what I'm looking at here. This is what I see for FTX when I put it into. I get this coin FinTrue, right? But if I put in FTX here, the only other thing I get is FTT, which is the FTX token, and I don't see anything else that would be what you're looking for. Well, I don't know. it'd be Fincher. That's the only FTX one that I would see. So other than that, I don't know what you're asking. I don't know what other FTX you'd be asking for then. So we'll keep it at that. You are welcome, sir. No worries. All right, we'll take a look at RSR though, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I was looking at. Yeah, that's what the exchange's token is FTT. Yeah. RSR, right? So if you look at RSR on the weekly chart, right, it's grown up well here. It's holding steady actually against the dollar, right? It's not, it has like this Darth Maul candle going on where you have like a wick to the top, a wick to the bottom. Not, basically kind of just bulls and bears are playing tug of war here. So RSR is holding up really good on the day to day against the dollar. But again, right, had a nice increase against the dollar, then a pullback and really just sitting sideways since then. If you look at RSR to Bitcoin, you notice relatively, it grew up here during that uptrend against Bitcoin, but has stayed relatively stable against Bitcoin, right? Came back down. And so you see RSR kind of do these things where it goes down a bit against Bitcoin, then makes a jump, goes down a bit against Bitcoin, and then maybe it'll make a jump up. So over time, it will increase against Bitcoin, but it's kind of a slow roll for RSR. So we like it and it's interesting, and it's done decent here. But also in terms of its gains, let's say from the end of September, yeah, pretty good gains actually, 1,500% there. And since, let's see here, February of 2020, right, really good gains. So yeah, RSR is a nice steady eddy to the upside, but it does have a lot of, what do you call it, supply that could come onto the market, right? So RSR could do that from time to time, where if they get a new country that they're going to be working with or releasing the token into, then that's when more supply comes on the market.
I'm on a buying spree right now, Charlie.
Did you get anything else besides the coins that you were mentioning earlier?
Yeah, I just got some T-shares.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was going to say, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to grab some more of those, T-shares in the Phantom ecosystem.
Yeah, T-shares, side to side, side to side. T-shares. Yeah, so I'll just be a few more minutes. I just got to pick up the last thing. So that the transactions are probably going through on Phantom right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Immutable X is a great coin actually as well. CW, that is actually, like, in terms of picks and shovels, that's a really good picks and shovels. The only thing I don't personally like about it is it's pretty centralized already, because like when the token when you could actually buy it, it was already like pretty much owned by whales already. So it's already $1 billion. Well, it might actually be under $1 billion now, actually. So
nice. We got a new Moonganger here. It looks like Joseph Duke says, hey, everyone, stoked that I found this live stream. You all seem legit at AF. Respect from Montana. Appreciate you as well, bro. No, definitely hit that subscribe and like button. We'd much appreciate it. It does help us to continue putting out free information here on the tubes for everybody. So yeah, please do so. And much appreciated for the kind comment. And then the troll comment, Doge is always good to get in for the memes. But here, just so anybody who might be confused about the T-shares, which T-shares are these guys talking about, right? It's always good to grab some Hex T-shares, but also to grab some Tomb shares, right? We got Tomb shares down to 13,500. I think just the other day, if we're looking over the course of the last 2 weeks, they were peaking up here at about $17,000. Right. And here's the kind of cool thing on the short-term chart for T-shares on Tomb is we had a pullback here from 14,300 down to, I think, a low of 10,400. Nice increase up here over the last part of November. And then boom, you get this first drop down and it's coming close. It came down close. I think it hit 11,400. So about $1,000 higher than that previous low. So it's kind of coming back and testing these areas. If we go to the max, right, that's the previous area that it had some price action. So you'd want to see this hold up above that $10,000 range. If it did come back really a lot, right, it could, or sorry, no, what am I saying? Yeah, if it did come back down all the way down to 10,400, that would be the previous high area. So, these charts aren't always the best. I wonder if we can find it over here. No, there's only going to be not going to be the Tomb shares on there. Just going to be the other token. So, right. So I guess that's the best we got. And look at that, Spell's just dying.
What's the price that I was looking at that actually? Right,
Just
under
under 8 cents. Tyler McConnon, appreciate the subscription there. One-way ticket to the moon, baby. Only up from here. Phantom, Spell was at 80% of a penny, just under, right? So it's just looking like the support is getting lost on that one quite hard. So, like I said, wait till the dust settles a little bit before jumping in on some of those falling knives like that. But hey, sometimes people like the falling knives.
Yep. So, yeah, just picked up some T-shirts, collected the farms, and doing nice. Just stacking more Phantom.
Good. Because I mean, you can basically just to stack more Phantom. Like the yields on different parts of the Phantom ecosystem are really good, right? So, grabbing more of those, even when we're in a downtrend, will just allow you to compound more through staking. So that's good.
That's kind of what I like about like the rewards you get on T-shirt is that you can just as soon as you get them, just sell them off and just buy anything you want with them. Basically, so it's a good. I like using them for the Dollarcost average. Basically, there is people who do like using that to then buy T-shirts with the T-shirt rewards, the Tomb rewards and stuff. So that's the strategy. Technically, that's the highest ROI strategy in terms of that stuff. But that's what I did currently. That's what I do with my Tomb rewards today. Is I took that and some Phantom and then bought more T-shirt basically. So yeah.
And we are live, but excuse me. For people who might be newer to crypto, right? Don't just like blindly follow us into something like the T-shares on Tomb Finance, though, because there is inherently a good chunk of risk on that.
No, very much risk. Yes. Risk, yes.
So you want to explain that a little bit? Because some people might just be like, they said they're buying this and they just like, bros, chill. Like you got to understand what you're getting into on that,
So right now we're in an era of Ponzi-nomics. Okay. So Time, Spartacus, Tomb, right? A lot of these things are kind of using like Ponzi-nomics in a little bit way, right? So at least with in terms of the difference between like and them, I don't even want to put the label of that. Basically, I'm being kind of funny when I'm saying Ponzi-nomics in a way, but
I mean, here's the thing: is they have over a percent growth a day on the yield, so basically. It's as close to the definition to a Ponzi scheme as you can get, without maybe, really labeling it that permanently.
Right. So one of the reasons why I went into Tomb, the Tomb Finance sort of thing and everything is because Harry Ye was pretty much a billionaire cat hedge fund dude is backing Tomb, like heavy backing, like putting his reputation on it, saying like, I'm going to make sure this peg doesn't break and everything. And if it does break, he said he's going to buy it up basically. So what isn't a Ponzi scheme? Jay Polar, you understand finance more than anyone in this chat right now.
Yeah, I was gonna pull that up. I was waiting for you.
No. So
true.
So
true story.
Yeah. So
US dollar being one, yes.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is there's a thing called T-share. I wish they named it something else personally. Maybe, but they could have named it something else. But it just is what it is now. But anyway, it's T-share, right? What T-share does is when you stake it, it generates a yield. The yield currently is like 1.4, 1.5% per day. Pretty sizable amount of yield. It generates a token called Tomb, which is an algorithmic stablecoin that's roughly back to the price of Phantom, basically. And what it does is it typically is always like 25 cents to $1 higher than the actual price of Phantom. So if the price of Tomb is higher than the price of Phantom, then the inflation rate of Tomb is increased, which increases the APYs across the board. If the price is close to the price of Phantom, then the APY goes down a little bit, basically, because it needs less of it because it's in balance. And then what happens is, at some point, if the peg is broken, then effectively, like, you have an ohm and these other things, you have bonds where you're able to buy discounted shares in the system, essentially, which is like discounted Tomb tokens. You essentially put up a collateral in T-share or some other I think it's just T-share for now. You buy the bonds, and then they use that money to then repeg the price, buy up coins, burn them, and bring it up to peg, and then you turn in these T bonds. I'm explaining a lot of the system right now.
No, I'm loving it, bro. Like, this is really good information for people. We had a troll in the chat who's like, sounds like he's trying to pump his own bags or some bullshit like that. So I was like, all right, I won't ban you from the channel because it's the first time seeing it here. So I'll throw in the timeout dunce camp for a little bit there on that one.
Yeah, it's pretty high risk. I mean, like, I've been in it since like a bit after the course, basically, in it and stuff. So, but basically the
Surgeon General's warning.
Yeah, Surgeon General's warning and stuff. But in terms of like all these Ponzi-nomic sort of things, this is probably the one that's going to run the longest, I think, next to Wonderland, probably. But in terms of like what's going on with that, so the T bonds, once the peg is hit, and then the peg's a little higher, so that means the price of Tomb is higher than the price of Phantom. Then all you have to do is then take your coupons on the website, and you get a bunch of Tomb tokens, and you're able to then spend them how you like, basically. So Harry Ye is pretty much did a deal with CZ. CZ actually showed up to the DC conference. And so, like, I didn't just jump into this because it was some bullshit, basically. Like, I jumped in.
Oh, no, not at all.
There's enough stuff in there, so I was like, okay, there's a chance for this to run for a while.
Yeah, so, it's just risky. That's it. Like,
yeah,
it's just like, gotta risk it for that biscuit kind of deal, right?
Exactly. And so I risked it for the biscuit. It worked out pretty well. I'm earning pretty good on it, but obviously, like, at some point, it's gonna cha-ching. You know,
yeah, the musical chairs game will start to the jig is up at some point, right?
Right. So so basically that's the game. What Harry is doing to also make this is the crazy thing, is like, when you're a billionaire, you can do magic. so when you're a billionaire and you got connects like that, so he made a deal basically with CZ that he's going to use Binance Cloud Services, which is basically like you can run an exchange using Binance's like API in the background. So they're running your exchange kind of in the background, if that makes sense. So what's going on is he's going to launch an exchange. That's a Phantom exchange, but technically uses Tomb for a lot of stuff. That he's going to make Tomb cross chain, so it's going to go on Phantom. I mean, it's going to make Tomb is going to go on Solana, and it's going to go on AVAX, and he's going to make it multi-chain.
That's going to be interesting. That's where I'm like, once I heard that, I was like, here, this is interesting.
Yeah, though there's some stuff, like I'll probably say for a little bit later and stuff and everything, but there's some stuff where I think that could affect the Phantom price a little bit. But in terms of what he's doing to make Tomb more valuable for people, don't just dump it right away all the time, right, to hold the price up. He's having a bunch of teams because he's Harry. Hey, he cracked the whip. Hey, do you want to have all this cool stuff? Yeah. Well, you have to accept Tomb for your token. So what's going to happen? He's going to have a launch pad and basically an ICO platform on the Phantom exchange, and you have to use Tomb token to buy coins, the new coins on Phantom. So that's going to drive a huge amount of buy pressure on Tomb tokens, especially when new shit coins are coming up. So it's going to be like Phantom's going to have its own parachain auctions. So that'll drive up, that'll make sure that peg stays really nice and high. So it's just going to drive the adoption of people just to buy T-shares. So it's like, fuck, I can't. It's too expensive to get it from the well. Let me just go buy a well that produces water. So people are going to buy T-shares, which it causes this positive feedback.
Everything about that second half, like the first half of the explanation, it's like, oh, that sounds good. Second half of the explanation is just like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Like, respect. Right. That's some good work over there.
Yeah. So I mean, I had to say the whole story for you to understand. Like, damn, there's like some hype. There's some hype there. The multi-chain stuff not as exciting as that part right there in terms of that's a good use case, and that's roughly what Kieran's in a way is also doing as well with like having Eluvium used in multiple places as well. He wants to like actually like at some point they've hinted of like maybe putting on Avalanche one day if that's allowed and stuff. But he's a little close to the Ethereum mafia, so maybe they probably won't let him. but that's actually in a way what Wonderland's doing too. So Wonderland time.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that because somebody was saying in the chat, right? Seb, RIP on Kobe, says, was thinking about the Wonderland staking, but it sounds too good to be true. I mean, this is whenever you see high yields, it's not like rush in like a moth to flame.
Right.
It's do your goddamn research to make sure that you're not going to get rugged.
Especially if you're late.
Then get in.
Especially if you're late too.
Right.
Like you're not early on it because you're not early on any of
the first in a Ponzi always wins. Last in a Ponzi always loses. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying, like that's the one thing that's like if you're early to most tokens, like that almost doesn't matter what they are. Like you're generally going to do well. Some of them you got to be careful that they do pump and then dump right after coming out, right? And so then the accumulation period happens, and for each coin it's different for how long that accumulation pattern will last. But yeah, within crypto, just generally speaking, not going to throw out too many labels because it can get kind of negative from there. But we're just having fun. But like, just generally speaking, do your research as well. But then at the same time, we talked about this before in this bull market, right? Sometimes you can go overboard and do way too much research, and then if you're not quick enough on the time, your opportunity is gone.
Right. So in terms of like me, myself personally, if you put a gun to my head and said, Miguel, you have to buy one of these fucking own things like now, like it would probably like in terms of like what's the grandpappy, it's Ohm, right? Which is Olympus DAO versus Wonderland versus like those are the two. That's Coke and Pepsi basically. Right. And in terms of where I put my money, I put my money on the Pepsi, which is actually surprising. Because I know which is surprising, right? I'm a Coca-Cola man. But in this example and stuff, I just believe that the Wonderland ecosystem it's an ecosystem. It has enough like there. So we have Popsicle Finance, you have MIM Token, Spell, Wonderland. Those 4 coins are all in one game together. Where Ohm's just kind of dick in the wind. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it has services. It has services, it has Ohm like Pro and all that, Olympus Pro and all that other jazz. But like,
yeah. Well, we do know a token that's starting to meld those things together. We won't talk about it yet because it's a little bit too early. Yeah. But it might be a little bit too degen in general, where it's mixing the time and Ohm structures together, right?
Yeah. It's mixing all that jazz together and stuff. And well, anyway, with a Wonderland, I'd probably, if I had to choose between one of those, I'd probably go Wonderland myself personally, just because like in terms of like Zeus is these fucking names. Zeus is the Twitter guy who runs Ohm and stuff like that versus Daniel Sota, which he runs essentially that the I would say the Daniel Sota cinematic DC universe, cinematic universe. He's more of an actual like leader in terms of like he's more charismatic. As well as more outspoken. And when shit's going bad, sometimes like all you can do is go to the charismatic leader and hold the community during the shit times, basically. Yeah. Voice actually says something different. So there is like two. This is where you can get really like. This is like I'm a little biased on this one. Yeah, Sparta. These fucking things.
It's like how deep in the woods do you want to go?
How deep in the woods?
Essentially, is what this comes down to. It's like. It's good to look at. It's good to understand what it is for sure. Do you want to be aping into it?
Right. So if let me show the difference. So obviously, like knock on wood, because like I fucking shit could rug tomorrow, right? But so
literally,
like, at some point. So like, don't fucking get into any of these right here. But I'm just telling you, like, you want to be shown the game. I'm gonna show you the game. So oh my god. So what's going on is fucking Charlie. Fuck. Okay. So what's going on right now is if I'm comparing ecosystems, the Ohm forks that are on Avalanche versus the ones on Phantom's dick slapping fucking Avalanche all day. You've already had runs.
Avalanche, what? Like in terms of its price increase, how much has Avalanche gone up since September?
I think went from like maybe $30-ish to 140, something like that, and then now it's back down to $80.
Phantom's gone up like it went from $1 to $3, right?
Yeah, 360. Yeah,
It's
360.
basically done the same move.
Yeah.
But I would say in terms of if you look at Trader Joe versus all the different, I mean, Phantom has way more stuff going for it in terms of yield. Like the yield on Phantom just seems much more secure to me in general. But there are, for every ecosystem you do get, some shit stuff. But yeah, if I'm gonna hold AVAX or Phantom or AVAX, I'm gonna choose Phantom all day, every day.
Right. And this is where it's like I'm a little like this. I'm not to say everything on Avalanche is bad, because obviously like the ground base for like Wonderland, like I would say like, so Spell was launched on Ethereum, and then you had Wonderland, Ice Popsicle, and all that jazz launched on Avalanche. So he is on the Avalanche side, but he's bridging. What he's doing is he's like, fuck it, I'm going to every chain, and he's going way faster.
I like that.
Yeah,
super smart.
And he was kicking Ohm's ass for a while, and Ohm now has gone over to like, hey, we're going on Avalanche now. He's like fucking like Wonderland was kicking their ass basically, real bad, because like basically the gap. Can you imagine like trying to rebase and fucking claiming rewards with these gas fees on the Ethereum right now? Can you imagine? So I think some people, unless you're a whale, like I think you lost a little bit of the rebase shit a little bit there, or maybe some of the bonds and stuff. So that's kind of what's going on there. So on the Phantom side, you have you basically have Spartacus and stuff, which is another Ohm fork that's creating its own cinematic. So it's like I'm a copy pasta, but I'm the copy pasta cinematic universe. so they copy pasta. If I got this correctly, they copy pasted Ohm basically and made Spartacus, and then from there they copy pasted Spell Token, which is Daniel's coin, to make Spartacus. Fucking hate that name, dude. Spartacus. Fucking.
Well, it's the worst name ever, but like I understand why they chose it, just for basically for people to understand what it is, right?
Yeah, I don't really like their name for their stablecoin. It is La Damna. So it's got to be probably something to do with like Roman culture, like something with gladiators and stuff. But I think that was a very stupid name for the stablecoin. But that just kind of barely launched like yesterday, basically. So Sparta Cadabra and stuff and everything. So I got an airdrop, and you can effectively use your wrapped coins to then borrow on them to get the stable coin to then buy back more. So a lot, they call it folding. I call it repothification. You just
you just call it what it is.
Ponzinomics, baby. But like, then fuck, man. Then there's Hector DAO and stuff as well, which I know a little bit less about, to tell you the truth, because I haven't really played with it. But Hector DAO is another one on Phantom, and then there's like Rome, which I think I rugged the other day, or just got fucked. And this is before the crash, so I'm like, oof, right now, oof. I can't imagine, but like, yeah. So I think we're getting close to like this shit getting played out a little bit right now. Like all we need is a fucking Ohm fork on fucking Harmony 1, and I think that's about it, bro. I think we can crack it up, guys.
It's pretty funny. My voice is also saying Phantom has shitty UIs, but good farms. Like that's all that matters, bro. Nobody gives a shit about the UIs.
Yeah, but hey, I will say the UIs aren't that bad. I don't know.
I like. It depends on which one we're talking about. If we're talking about like, like
Spirits is kind of. I like Spirit a lot, but it's a little. It's. I know what they're doing there to put more data, because like if it's like on Booze is a lot more simplistic, and then on
which on simplistic usually wins, right? Yeah. So, but I mean, we'll see where they end up going. But all I care about is the money. Like, am I going to make money on it? If the answer is yes, everything else just doesn't matter.
Do your math. I think you can calculate your math more consistently on Wonderland versus Ohm. But I do think Wonderland, if you're going for the big ones, the name brands, if you're going to jump into that shit, I mean, I personally like Wonderland. I personally don't own any of them, but from what I've looked into it, it looks like that one's probably going to be more longer term, going to last. Plus, they have the stable coin there, so they can Ponzi it up to buy the coin to keep the coin from destroying you guys. So, things like that, basically, where Ohm, I don't know.
Right. Gotcha. There was some other comment that I wanted to mention here. This one's kind of funny. Dark1414 says, I'm trying to buy 5K USD worth of crypto. My bank says no. Screw you. Fraud department opens at 8 a.m. What? I don't even care about when bank kill. Yeah. See, here's the thing: is even when crypto's going down, right? The crypto things still work in crypto for the most part, right? there's a run on the bank or whatever, the banks never work. So yeah, short the banks.
So voice, that actually kind of makes me laugh with the Harmony one, because the big joke over there that nothing was going on over there. I mean, the only thing I've heard about going on over there is just basically a little bit of the gaming sector with Harmony one,
Okay.
with like DeFi Kingdoms Jewel and stuff. But then like the community's kind of pissed off because the DeFi Kingdoms is like branching over to other ecosystems now, and they're kind of forgetting like Harmony one a little bit. So each time the games on there create another ecosystem, they create a different land. So it's like land of Avalanche, land of it's on Avalanche, but Solana, like that, right? And then what happens is like I think because the developer team may be just getting stretched in, they may be like kind of like forgetting this because they're trying to collect that new money from Solana, which I understand too, which I get.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see here. What else is there to look at in this market, right? So just
you
generally
wanted Ponzi's, now you get Ponzi's, now
yeah, careful what you ask for there, right? We got a solid 500 people on the Moon Gang watching the stream, so that's good in total.
Jewel, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go for it.
Jewel is actually not a terrible one, but it's just like it's getting like would have been cooler to get into that. The thing is, it was so hard because everything in the metaverse was pumping at the same time, basically. So it's kind of hard to pick out like the best ones. Well, you could pick out the best ones, but it was hard to like everything was pumping, so everyone was happy anyway. So it's like if you got into like one or two coins, you were like, I'm doing pretty good. So like, you didn't really care, basically. Like shout out Eluvium, but
yeah, Eluvium. Where's Eluvium, man? I haven't even looked at that.
Yeah, not too shabby, but I mean, shit. I mean, look, all this is one of the weird ones. All the OG coins in the beginning of the bull market, and technically the central banks from last bull market, did well.
I like the Eluvium chart. If we just take a quick look at that, please. Like if you're looking at that on the dip, like we were looking at it yesterday on the Friday stream, I was like, yeah, if it's going to pop down to its 20-day moving average, that'd be a good area to scoop some. And it looks like people are right. It wicked well down below there to 1250. And it's holding at least for right now on that 20-day moving average. Obviously, it will, and it's right here on the RSI, right at 50. So like full reset here on Eluvium at much higher prices than when we were talking about it during the Q4 course. So that's actually looking pretty good. And so just will depend on Bitcoin staying above that 200-day moving average and the previous cycle low for stuff like this to hold up. But Eluvium, man, respect for that's not much of a drop at all.
Thanks to that. So I don't know if there's any way you can pull up the website. We can basically it's because the way it is right now, right? There's like 35,000 coins, so not a lot, and you have something like I think 40% of the supply trying to earn yield right now on the coin. So and that's paired up with an equal weighting of Ethereum. So the last time I looked, this may have changed because the prices went down a little bit. It was $370 million in the liquidity pool. So you need a fuck ton of Eluvium to shut the price down. So I've been saying this for a minute, even on like earlier in the stream and in my last live stream was saying it's like you need like damn near you need one of the biggest whales. You need like Kieran to fucking dump the price, and he ain't dumping it himself. So it's like
until March.
Until March, guys. So
So why do you think one of the main portions of the game's not going to be coming out until the end of Q1?
To offset selling pressure, basically.
This is a rhetorical question. It should be obvious to hold up the goddamn price, right? So like when all the supply comes out on Eluvium and in the spring, basically, if they're having one of the main portions of the game come out at the same time, you got the whales. Doing some dumpy dump when they get some of their tokens. What is it, 7% a day?
No, so 7,000.
No. 7. That's what it was.
Yeah, 7,000 tokens every single day. So the dates.
So as the normies want to play the game and the price go up, then they get their profits from the Roger Ver gets the dump on them basically.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
I just respect the Roger.
We just sit up for another stream talking about Roger Ver a little bit, man, because he's like. He knew he fucked up a little bit, but he kind of did some smart VC saving his ass.
Oh yeah, very smart.
Pretty smart.
He was out there at the DC conference for Phantom.
Yeah, I mean,
he was at St. Kitts on the beach, but he still telephoned in.
But what was I gonna say with we were just talking about something.
Eluvium.
Oh yeah, Eluvium with with the coin. Yeah, so there's 7,000 tokens coming out every day. So let me explain. So it doesn't really sound like a lot, right? You know, yeah, but some people might not, which is true. I do believe, like, personally, I think 2,000 of those are the team's tokens, if I remember correctly. 5,000 are some seed investors and some family money as well. So possibly 2,500 if we're on the shitty end, to like maybe 4,500 are legitimately like teams and family members, which is like Kieran's brothers and like all the friends like that. They may actually just stake their coins to get the yield. The other money is all the VC money. So within 1 month, we'll have something about like 33% of the supply out. And so an increase of the supply. So it's going to be something like 200 and some change thousand. I can do the math really quickly just because it's really fast. Just like 7,000 times 30. Basically, yeah, 210,000 tokens will come out within 30 days as soon as the admission comes out. So in a month, you'll have at least 33% of the supply from like 634,000. And a month later, you'll have an additional 33% increase to the supply. Then from there, every single month, it's a little smaller because then it'll go from 33, 25, 22.
Oh, okay, that's then yeah.
Because
By
the
the
supply
time,
keeps getting larger. So it's
yeah,
dampening. It dampens.
yeah, that's
basically
good. That's good. Well, because like David West here, lining up with what you're saying there, yeah, I would love this, right? I would agree. And if we're getting, I do highly respect Data Dash actually, going out of the way to basically talk about lengthening cycles. And he also is talking about going into November of 2022 for the bull market. And like this type of pullback, right? As long as we hold above those key levels that we were talking about and, market stays healthy and we still continue to consolidate and then go back up over the next couple of weeks. And then we start really ramping up into the new year. Like I would highly agree with this. And then where that's going to come in with what you're saying there with Eluvium is, so think about that after, March until whenever, like let's say 6 months later from there, right? A lot of supply is already out. Then that gives Eluvium a nice boost at the very end of the bull market. And the strategy we talked about in the Q4 course plays out like a fucking champ, pretty much.
It's pretty nice. So I expect two dips and two pumps basically on Eluvium. So within a couple of weeks, it doesn't matter if the market's sideways, it'll start pumping because people are buying up Eluvium and stuff for the an SLV for the land sale that's January 3rd to January 2nd to the 3rd. Okay. So some people are asking me, like, why did they move the date? Well, they moved it because, you have Christmas and New Year's. Like, who wants to be fucking doing shit during Christmas and New Year's? So I was like, of course. Okay, that makes sense. 2, taxes. So they could sell some stuff at the beginning of the year. They should buy some land. Kieran, which is the founder of Eluvium, just said that he's going to buy like 5. So there's 20,000 lands for sale. He's like, I'm buying 500 of those motherfuckers. Literally, I was like, God damn, bro. But like, yeah. So obviously he's, so that sort of stuff. So I expect a run up in price up until like a day or so when the actual auction starts. So I think the whole back half of December is gonna be pretty decent for the Eluvium price. At least we're just gonna be trending up slowly at the worst case, which is pretty good. So yay. I do caution one thing is around a day before or 8 hours before the actual auction starts, I expect whale fuckery. So we're more than likely going to see some whales possibly try to dump the price down just to hurt their competition.
Of ILV or SLV?
No, of ILV.
Okay.
Of ILV because that hurts SILV as well.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, because if they hurt if they just dump the SLV price, well, that'd be fucking horrible too. But but
they kind of rug themselves a little bit.
Right, but so you could actually have it's still the reason you do Eluvium over just SLV because you could dump the SLV price down. And the Eluvium price is still high, and then SLV would actually kind of repeg. No, it's not even the repeg. It's because when you're buying anything, if the price, whatever the Eluvium price is in dollars, that's how much land you buy. So you just made it cheaper for your competition to get more money.
To get more land.
So that increases competition. So the only way to lower the competition is dropping the SLV. The SLV price could be $800, and like I'm not saying it's that low, but as an example, let's just say they drop the Eluvium price down to like $800. And the SLV price is at $1,300, it would only buy $800 of value. So you could have an SLV price of $1,500, and you would only be buying $800 per SLV. Oof. So right now the peg, I'm pretty sure it's pretty terrible right now. It's typically around 33% of the price to 50% of the price of actually Eluvium right now. I haven't checked it, but I have to check it in a minute. But basically, what I'm doing personally, like for the whole month of December, I'm actually personally not going to collect my rewards. I'm going to collect them in SLV. Just to have some extra, SLV there. And I think what's going to happen when we get close to the auction sales is that the peg, the SLV is usually 33% of the price of Eluvium. I think it gets like this, sort of like the flipping almost in a way. You're like close to the price, 80%, 90%. And then when that happens, I'm going to go into USDC. Basically,
I like this.
Just to get out of like the trouble of that, so I know what kind of money that I have for the auction. So I don't get, so if there is whale fuckery, I'm not affected. If there isn't, I'm like, oh, well, I still can buy lands basically, but it's just more to protect my downside on like, just because it would suck to collect all that stuff. And then they just like rug you down basically.
Yeah. Well, and that's liquid right away. So it doesn't get automatically vested for that year. So that's where we can have that advantage. I like that.
So, so that's kind of interesting too. The whole emission. So all the supply for Eluvium that's coming out for the next month to like halfway through January is all going to be SLV, I think. So that's what's interesting. So that means that's a lot of coins that don't get turned into Eluvium. That's permanently going to be off the total supply of Eluvium. So I suspect like 500,000 SLV to 1 million SLV will be created within the next 3 months, basically. So that means that we go from a 10 million total supply to 9 million minimum. So that's pretty good. Yeah,
that is really good. No, I really respect the Warwicks with what they've done with Eluvium. Like hats off, to them with how they're building that out.
That was some alpha, you guys.
That was really good information. Really good
fucking alpha right there, you guys.
He's like Miguel doesn't always waste his research on live streams, right? He sometimes holds that for the course, but here we're being kind. We told you guys, hey, when prices are down, you get the best information, you get the real information, on the market, right? You get the best information, and hey, you're getting some extra today. So
after that course, I'll show you how to play that Eluvium once the land comes out too. Like
Pulse will be a big portion, I think, of the next course as well. So literally the only course in all of crypto talking about these projects and giving you guys different strategies of how to make money with this. So that right there is super, super useful. We have Matt Gomes saying fear greed index says extreme fear. Lol. Yeah, what else would you expect at this moment in time? But let's look just for shits and giggles. Let's see here. 25 extreme fear. Look at that. Like last month greed, last week extreme fear, last week fear, and then extreme fear again. But we look out at the max, it's basically not any lower than it was at the end of November. So just taking it sweet old time. That's about it. But
interesting, man.
Shoot.
Yeah, man, I think this has been a great almost like a mini webinar, really.
We got P. Willie now saying free flash webinar. He's already in the holiday spirits.
Oh, he has the hat.
There was somebody in the chat saying like, screw buying Christmas gifts for my family. I got to spend all my money to buy this dip. I love the chat. The chat always has a good one. And then there was also somebody in the chat saying, I can't find it right now, but they were saying something along the lines of the whole market crashes and panics. Meanwhile, Moon Gang's all chill. Yes, sir. So glad to see people in the chat getting it. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if this is the first time coming upon us. As well. So appreciate all you guys. Let's take a look here again at Bitcoin, Ethereum, just to round it off. I might even pull up a little bit here on the different on-chain data stuff, just to kind of round off what we were talking about here. So some people might have caught the beginning, and we talked about the price there. We did that a little bit in the middle, and then we'll talk about it a little at the end here, just to make sure that everybody, including the 4 a.m. crew, is taken care of. Much appreciated. Again, we get the emergency sirens right when I start showing the charts. Basically nothing has changed in the last 2.5 hours. Essentially, we've just kind of gotten some, stuff floating around. Oh man, it's getting tired over here. Jesus, doing 2.5 hour streams. I think this is the longest stream we've done in quite a while. But anyways,
in 3D dual stream.
yeah, first dual stream ever on our channels. I like it. Good moment to remember. So what do we got here? We got the 200-day moving average on Bitcoin, right? So that is an area that Bitcoin wants to keep. In order to keep that 200-day moving average, obviously we want to see several daily closes above 46,250. Essentially, it's at 278 right now, but roughly around that area. So let's say 46,300, right, is where we want to see Bitcoin close above. And then if we head on over to that weekly chart, right, that weekly chart is good here. We have the weekly chart above its 50-week moving average, which is currently at $46,915, right, which could easily move up anywhere between $500 to $1,000 on the weekly close. So essentially, we want to see Bitcoin on the weekly close. It would be very nice to see Bitcoin close at $48,000 or higher. So that just means in the next 1 day and 15 hours, we need to see Bitcoin close about $500 higher. Based on what we've seen with the flash crash, with the worst, at least up to this point, being over, right? It does seem very likely that that could happen here, and that we keep that area intact. So far on the day to day, right, for Bitcoin, we've seen basically a 29% crash, or sorry, on the week we've seen a 29% crash. I think on the day it was like 23%. But the other thing we want to watch is the previous cycle low here at, technically speaking, 39,573. We want to see that hold as well. So several areas here for Bitcoin on the weekly and daily charts to hold. And then over the next couple of weeks, we want to see Bitcoin regain this area here at about $53,000. Once that has been fulfilled, then we can go back up. And that's obviously going to shift targets going into the next 60-day cycle by quite a lot. If we were to just kind of like assume that the low is in and we get a couple of weeks of consolidation before going up, if that were to be the case, right, then the next 60-day cycle price targets actually are not very different. That's quite interesting, actually. On the lower end, going into mid-January, right, we were looking at 84,000. Still, if we were to get like a V-shaped recovery here, still $86,000 would be on the table if we were to recover within the 60-day cycle back above 64,000, and then of course $69,000 as well. So Bitcoin's got some work to do over the next 1 month. Let's see or a month and a half, I guess I should say, or 2 months. So let's see how this goes for Bitcoin. And then if the cycle, we had an extended cycle low, and that is what happened here, then essentially the next 60-day cycle would be coming around early February. So that's actually quite interesting. So yeah, part of that extending cycle idea is what we got going here. So those are the areas to watch out for. So if you're a bear, right, you want to see Bitcoin crash below $39,000. And if you're a bull, you want to see us close above on the week, above 48 or higher, and then reclaim those areas that we were already talking about on the channel before. In terms of RSI on Bitcoin, RSI has now touched that 30 mark on Bitcoin's daily chart. If we look at the last cycle low, which was obviously more of a it had its big, actually, this is interesting about the previous cycle low, right? The liquidity, or actually just the crash taking out basically the people who are maybe doing too much leverage. That happened at the very early part of that 60-day cycle going into the low, whereas we had the opposite here. We had kind of a slow grind down, and then that kind of taking out of leverage in the market, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, if you look at the previous cycle low, the RSI here was at 34. We're currently at 30 or 29.4. And then this area, a flash crash, actually the RSI only got down to 23. And then on this other wick to the downside after that, it was down at 27. So RSI on Bitcoin, actually on the daily chart, this is the lowest we've seen it since that crash in May, and then April, May, and then since March of 2020, right? So you can already see Bitcoin already was on a decent discount and oversold, and is even more so now. So again, let's see it close. Let's see if we can close above 48,000, then recover 50,000 in next week. And then that will give us really good opportunities as well to keep scooping up some of those cheaper altcoins if we can get those types of recoveries. So that's what we're looking at there. If you do take a look at something like these MVRV scores and different on-chain data, right, you can definitely see we're closer to the lower end here than the higher end in terms of risk as well. So on-chain data still making it look pretty good here in terms of, are we at a discount or not? So generally speaking, things are a-okay. Do not panic. That is the main theme of today's stream. Don't waste all of that dry powder at once, but don't feel shy to go in there and grab some of the coins. If you want to know the coins that we have grabbed thus far on the dip with a portion of our dry powder, go back into the earlier part of the stream, dig for those nuggets because quite some good stuff there. So appreciate you guys. Any final words of wisdom there, DCC?
May your only pain be champagne.
I love it. So, all righty, bros. Appreciate the Moon Gang. We'll be back on the stream on the Cultivate Crypto channel at 10 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Do you have one coming up that you wanted to announce?
Yeah, so I was actually planning to do an actual Q4 chat live stream tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So I'll do an announcement inside.
Oh, you mean like an AMA?
Like sort of an AMA, but I might actually invite some of the guys from the Q4 chat on.
Oh,
stream,
perfect.
On my stream and stuff. So if that's going to be tomorrow at 7 Pacific Standard Time, so I'll give all the information in there, and then the link to the channel will be in there. So nice. Let's have fun.
Yeah, let's have a good time. And I don't expect too much is going to change in terms of the market. So we'll have a lot of good questions to talk about and help you guys at that. So 7 p.m. on DCC's stream. That would be your 7 p.m. on Saturday?
On Saturday, yeah. Saturday, right. 7 Pacific Standard Time, yes.
Right. So Saturday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would probably be like 10 p.m. Eastern.
It's Moon Gang time, usually.
Right, 10 p.m. Eastern. And then we'll be on Moon Gang after that on Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. So you guys are getting the full weekend treatment here. You lucky bastards. No, I'm joking. We're lucky too to have you guys as part of the Moon Gang. So appreciate all you. We have Sam Ascar saying gracias, muchachos. You are welcome, sir. Nick August jumping in the chat as well. Go over to Nick August channel. We had a good talk on there. Totally not related to crypto yesterday. That was fun.
Nick, I will be on there, bro. Trust. I got held up, but yeah, I will be there.
It's all good. So appreciate you guys as well. So hopefully you guys have a good rest of your weekend, and you'll be seeing us more this weekend. So take care, guys. Peace, live long and prosper. Catch you all again soon. Later.